Rougher football tonight from Putnam City High School, home of the Pirates. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton, and the Rougher TV crew here to bring you all the action on Okie Country 101.7 as well as on Rougher TV. Glad to have you aboard. A few little technical mishaps, but we've got you. We're glad to have you. And when we come back after this quick timeout, we'll go in the locker room and meet one of the Roughers, Koto Barnoski. He'll be our guest in the pregame countdown to kickoff. That after this timeout. This is Rougher Football 2023.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
Jay Hodge here with Rick, a man of few words. Wow! That's one of them. And when you see the savings at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee, tell him, Rick. Wow! New Silverado's 1.9% financing or $5,600 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Don't overpay. Come see Jay.
New Silverado's 1.9% financing.
Wow!
Now at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee,
144 West Shawnee.
Rougher football tonight from Putnam City. Muskogee taking on the Pirates. We bring in another member of the Roughers. He wears number 9, and he made some pretty hard hits last Friday night in his first start at linebacker, sophomore Koto Barnoski. How much fun was that to be out there with the varsity and deliver that first hit?
It was real fun because, last year I sat backup quarterback and just watched the whole time. And for me to be able to start and working hard, it's just fun.
Now you're going back and forth, offense and defense, in practices throughout the week. How challenging is it for you to learn both sides of the football's assignments?
It gets confusing sometimes, but it's not too hard. I can learn it.
Now let's flash back to Monday night, because that was an exciting junior varsity game, a come from behind win in the closing minutes. You took the offense the length of the field. Tell me about the emotions that the junior varsity team had on Monday night in the win over Union.
It was just, we wanted that win, so we had to go get it,
Now, you also had to put the ball in the right spot on the very last play for the touchdown. You had to feel pretty good about that connection to have a receiver running open and lay the ball right in his hands.
Yeah, it was real good.
Tell me about your energy. And let's get a little fired up for this one because we're about to go play football. Tell me about the energy that you want to bring from that linebacker spot and what you're looking for on every snap.
Just fly around and hit somebody. Just want to hit somebody.
So is this hairstyle, is that where you're getting your strength, kind of like Samson?
Yeah, I guess you can say that.
All right. Tell me the things that you like to do when you're on your own time, when you're on Koto time. What are the things you like to do? What's your favorite food?
My favorite food is chicken, and I like to lift a lot. I like to lift.
How about we go lift a few Pirates and put them on their backs tonight and come out of here with a win?
Sounds good.
Koto Barnoski wears number 9 for the Roughers, our guest here in the pregame countdown to kickoff. Back with head coach Travis Hill after this timeout on Rougher Football 2023.
There's really only one explanation for businesses who continue to thrive for decades on end, and that's a people-first mentality. Bravado employees live within our existing coverage area just like you. Our kids go to the same schools and play in the same leagues as yours. That's why so much of who we are consists of giving back to our communities, because your community is also our community. We are your family, your neighbors, and your leader in wireless mobility. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Rougher football tonight from Putnam City, deep in the heart of the Metroplex of Oklahoma City. We bring in head coach Travis Hill. And, Coach, it's always good to go on the road, but it's even better when you go on 1-0.
Yeah, it makes it easier. Getting travel down here today was a exciting little trip, a little hot coming down the old highway, and a little trip. But our kids feel like they're ready to go, and it is a lot nicer being 1-0 instead of coming here 0-1. Yes, sir.
You've looked at the film from last week, so of the players, what things have you learned from last week that you need to make better here tonight?
Again, there's two ways to evaluate kind of where we're heading. One is, you can take from point A last year to point B now we're at, and there's a lot of improvement. But where we really want to be, we still have a ton of improvement to make. So the problems were just real simple game-type situations that you only get better by playing games. So they say you improve more between game 1 and game 2, and that's been our philosophy all week, trying to get that done.
This week you're going against a ball club in Putnam City that showed some strengths last week in their loss to Bishop McInnes, but still a ball club that is eager to make their directions go in the positive way with the new head coach, Willis Alexander.
Absolutely. You know, he moved over from PC West, so he's already familiar with some of the kids and the situations involved there. So, yeah, it is a first year, but like I said, at least got a little head start on it. And they are a program last year, good team, a playoff team last year with a lot of kids coming back. So Willis has now taken over the realm and is doing a good job. So they are a program that, like I said, they're wanting what we're striving for too. So that puts out a lot of things tonight on the field to be seen.
We're going to take a quick time out here on Rougher TV. When we come back, it'll be time to talk with Chris Reisenhover about the offensive game plan for Muskogee that last week had balance in the run and the pass. And then a little bit later on, Steve Craver, the defensive guru of the Roughers, will talk about tonight's game plan in stopping Putnam City. Later on, we'll be back with head coach Travis Hill for the Keys to Victory, brought to you by Michael A. Finnerty, attorney at law. That after this timeout, we continue from Putnam City on Rougher Football 2023.
Runt's Barbecue serves up hand-rubbed, slow-cooked goodness. Anytime you're feeding a few hundred, hey, we're just tailgating with friends. Call the experts. Runt's Barbecue. Ribs, brisket, burnt ends, mouth-watering hot link, and smoked chicken. Where everything is made from scratch, from the barbecue sauce to the banana pudding. Give us a try, and you won't be disappointed. Runt's Barbecue. 918-681-3900. Runt's Barbecue. Slow-cooked goodness in Muskogee.
I'm Kyle Edwards for Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and the all-new Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota. With the addition of Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Shakota and Buick GMC in Muskogee, it now gives our customers a great lineup of new makes and models to choose from. We are very proud to bring you a buying experience you won't find anywhere else. If you haven't visited us yet, come give us a chance. You'll like what you see. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota.
Rougher football tonight from Putnam City as Muskogee looks to go 2-0 against the Pirates of Putnam City the original Putnam City High School. We bring in offensive coordinator Chris Reisenhover. Report card from the coach's viewpoint on last week's win over Enid?
Aside from the slow start, I think we were extremely happy with the overall effort of our football team. Kids played hard, had a few busts, but that's to be expected at this time of the year. But feel good about the yardage output. We had well over 500 yards, and again showed how explosive we can be. Want to take a few more and get a little more quick passing game stuff going on, and throw for a little higher completion. But overall, I'd say B.
Balance was last week with the ability to run the ball, whether it was Latavian Johnson or Andre Beasley in one of his cross-country jaunts. You had the big play passing games, and like you said, you want to get more of those short routes and just move the chains. But what does Putnam City defensively pose to the Roughers that could create some issues? One of those has to be the linebacker, Braden Knox.
Yeah, they're going to really try to keep the ball from going north and south. They're a 4-3 defense, and they're going to keep 7 close to the box, and they do some kind of different stuff with the front four, and that they will eat up the A and the B gaps to really cover up that big Mike linebacker they have that really runs well and responds to the ball. So, that exposes them a little bit in the passing game, which, it could be a big night for our receivers and Bird. But we also, with our big lineman up front and Latavion in the backfield, we also want to don't go in and, just have one. We want a balanced attack. So, that'll be, let's get off the football. Let's make sure we got our eyes on 13. The Mike linebacker, let's get a hat on him and, get some successful runs going.
Last week we talked about the balance and the ability to come up with big plays in both parts of the ground game as well as the passing attack. How do you just, improve that moving the chains all night long, not having to count on a big play to go score, but being able to take time off the clock as well as move the chains and finish in the end zone?
It's just, execute your assignments. we are stronger this season up front. Should be a better team at protection also. But just, run the offense. Like I tell the kids, just don't make stuff up on me. If you get in the right spots and receivers run the routes at the right depths and leverage their defender in the proper position depending on the route, and, birds, throwing the ball on time, and we have separation, and then good things are going to happen for us.
Offensive coordinator Chris Reisenhover with some pregame thoughts on tonight's opponent, the Pirates of PC. When we come back, it'll time to talk with the DC, Steve Craver, on what the Ruffers can do defensively against the Putnam City Pirates here tonight. Back with more after this timeout. This is Ruffer Football 2023.
Pain is temporary. Pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. From setback to comeback, the name you can trust, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael A. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at FinnertyLaw.com.
Welcome back on Ruffer Football 2023. Tonight from Putnam City as the Ruffers prepare to take on the Pirates of PCO. We bring in the defensive guru, Steve Craver. Coach, you always, Travis mentioned a moment ago, expect to improve more from game 1 to game 2. What improvements do you hope to see tonight in the defensive unit as looking back to last week's win over Enid?
I look for improvement with some of our new starters. You could tell the nerves was there last week with some of those guys that were able to perform for the first time in front of a big crowd. And so I'm looking for the jump those new starters are going to make from week 1 to week 2 and kind of using that experience that they experienced last week here tonight.
Talk about those personnel players that you want to see continue to climb that ladder of success.
First one pops out, and obviously he's part of my position group. That's Anthony White. I think he had a solid game last week, but it's all, you kind of sense that he was just trying not to make a mistake. I had a great week of practice this week and a little bit more looser with the experience that he gained, and so I'm looking for a big jump with him. Koto Barnoski continues to pop out during the practice and also during the game. I'm looking for him to continue to learn that linebacker spot and what Coach Higgins is asking of him and see the jump that he can make.
Let's go now to looking at the opponent, the Pirates of head coach Willis Alexander. Don't really know truly what to expect with only one game film to look at because of the coaching change. Offensively, what do you expect to see from PC?
As coaches, when you take over a program and there's not much film, you kind of watch where that coach was before that. And so I expect him to come out in 10 personnel, 20 personnel, try to run the ball a little bit, and then try to attack some of the open spots in our defense. It's going to be up to us to get lined up. And obviously, we expect tempo each and every week. That's something we try to practice with the tempo I practice each and every day. And so I expect them to try to hurry up, get lined up, get us off balance, and try to attack the spots that they think we're weak at.
Obviously, with the change in temperatures from early in the week to tonight, where it's a little bit on the warm side, tempo can work to your advantage or it can hurt you.
It can. I think our front guys, Coach Joe, Coach Magnac, do a good job of rolling those big guys in so they can, stay fresh throughout the game. We're always watering up at every break, telling those guys to get off their feet when they can get off their feet to try to preserve some of that energy so that we don't expend it in the fourth quarter.
Steve, a key for the Ruffers defensively to getting out with a win and perhaps a shutout?
Stop the run. You know what it is, Bill. I should make T-shirts. That should be my trademark. We got to stop the run. We got to control the pass. We got to keep things in front of us. And we just can't make mistakes ourselves. I mean, each and every week we respect our opponents. But I tell the kids, it's the Ruffer versus the Ruffers. If we don't beat ourselves and control what we can control, I feel like that gives us the best chance to win.
Defensive coordinator Steve Craver with some pregame thoughts, back with head coach Travis Hill and the winning strategy, brought to you by Michael A. Finnerty, attorney at law. That after this timeout on Ruffer Football 2023.
There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com. There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com.
Tradition. It's a word that means a lot. Just as the tradition of the Muskogee Roughers requires commitment of great players and coaches, Lesher Millsap Funeral Home takes pride in providing great value and commitment every day with a tradition of service to the families of the Muskogee area. Just like in football, tradition must be earned on every play, every day, not just in the final score. And that's why you can trust Lesher Millsap Funeral Home to be there for you when it counts the most. Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, proud to be part of the Muskogee tradition of excellence. Back inside the Rougher locker room with head coach Travis Hill for tonight's winning strategy, brought to you by Michael A. Finnerty, attorney at law. But before we talk about the keys to a win for the Roughers, coach, let's talk about the importance of this ball game. It doesn't matter as far as the playoffs are concerned, but in the long scheme of things, you want to, as you said earlier, improve from game 1 to game 2.
Exactly right, Bill, and there's no other way to put it. So, we've got to improve. That's what the non-district games for, to identify strengths and weaknesses and improve upon those things. So, and you'll feel real good about it if you knew going in you would improve. If you improve, you're going to probably win the football game. But that's why we play it for, Bill, and we're excited about it to see if these, like I said, if we can, as a football team, if we want to be a championship football team, that we can make these adjustments and move forward.
Coordinators Chris and Steve have given us kind of their inside look to tonight's game plan, but from the head coach's perspective, let's talk about the keys to a Rougher victory, or the winning strategy. It's brought to you by Michael A. Finnerty, attorney at law.
I'm going to try to go a little bit off course today, Bill. I like this. But, last week we played in heat, but it was actually hotter all week long than when we played on Friday. Just the opposite this week. It was a lot cooler throughout the practice week, and we're going to get a pretty high night tomorrow night. So I do think one of the keys tonight will be the idea of how we handle the heat, and if we've taken care of our bodies and hydrated and everything. You say, Coach, you should know that. Well, I don't. This is not college. We don't get them in the dorm room or hotel room when they go home to their parents, and so there's lots of things that happen. But hopefully we take care of the heat well. And Bill, I really think the kicking game is going to be big now. If we can take advantage of the kicking game and have opportunities there, then I think we got a great chance to win the football game.
From your perspective, offensively, defensively, are there questions in your mind about what the Roughers are going to be able to do, or just go out and take care of business?
There's questions in my mind. It's still early in the year. This is, like I said, there's no brainer that was last week. It's a new season. You got a lot coming back. You got this. They got to go play again, and they got to play as a group. So I do think we're heading the right way. I would be very surprised if we don't improve. I really would. But still, there's an anxious moment there in the coach's heart to see it. And the more you do it, the less the angst. Again, you quit getting so anxious about it because you see that your kids are trained and are willing to do it.
You're also on the road for the first time. True. How much does that play a benefit or a distraction?
There's two ways. I like it. And the reason why is because I don't think, you use the word distractions. It's hard to have as many distractions when you get on a bus and drive for 2 hours and 15 to 2 hours and a half. So the kids got a chance to really remove themselves from all the other activity that goes on around the football game, sit down and relax, get a trip down as long as when we get there, the bus was AC'd, we're all good. So that all feels good. Bill, I like the idea of being on the road, and we need it, and it'd be a good experience for us.
Is there one particular key that you think turns the lights on for a Rougher win number 2?
Yeah, the bottom line, I think we get out there, and if we move the ball early offensively, I think we'll be very successful. That's what I'm looking for. I think we will, but like I said, I want to see that, prove that, and if we're up and down the field like we were last week, then we'll have an opportunity to have great success.
Head coach Travis Hill with tonight's winning strategy, brought to you by Michael A. Finnerty, attorney at law. We'll check the health of the Roughers with trainer Justin Laird. That after this timeout. This is Rougher Football 2023.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times, when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
And in patriotic fashion, we welcome you to Putnam City Pirates Stadium. Here for tonight's broadcast of Rougher Football. Muskogee on the road, coming into Hampton, rated the #1 team in Class 6A2.
Well, tonight they take on the Putnam City Pirates, a team that has kind of floundered the last few years. They have a new coach this year, Willis Alexander, and they're kind of trying to get reorganized and get themselves back on a winning track. Probably not a good sign for them, though, tonight to be facing the #1 ranked Roughers. Muskogee trying to improve their game a little bit over last week. They didn't win last week, of course, over Enid, but there are a few things that Travis Hill wants to get better at. Primarily consistency on both sides of the ball, he says, this week.
Rougher Football in 2022 brought to you in part by Excel Physical Therapy. From setback to comeback, count on Excel Physical Therapy to get you back in the game. Our Health of the Roughers interview with Justin Laird cut short because of our technical difficulties we had earlier, Nick Hampton. But the Health of the Roughers tonight, brought to you by Excel Physical Therapy, is a green light. Everybody is healthy. Everybody is well to go. The one thing the trainers and Justin and Coach Leo will be looking for down on the field, though, is the heat exhaustion, because although the humidity level is not quite as high as it was last week, the temperatures here have been in the mid to upper 90s all day long, and this turf is going to suck up that sunshine heat.
93 is what I looked at the temperature just a minute ago, and like you said, though, not nearly as oppressive as it was last week at home when the humidity was so high and the temperature hovered around the 100-degree mark. So it'll be better, but obviously conditioning is another of those areas the Roughers want to work on. And you mentioned the health of the Roughers. That's something we'll have to keep an eye on this year, because that'll be very important for Muskogee.
Indeed it will. Of course, tonight the Roughers trying to go on the road for the first time in 2023 and try to improve to 2-0. And you mentioned this in your column in the Muskogee Phoenix earlier this week, not to be sneak peeking ahead, not to be looking past Putnam City, a team that you beat soundly last year 47-3. It's an entirely different football program, a new coach, a new mentality for the orange and white-clad Tigers here tonight. You got to focus on this 4 quarters of action if you want to be #1 when Carl Albert comes to town next Friday night.
Well, I think the big key tonight for the Roughers will be to get out early, get it done, get the starters off the field as quickly as you can. Hopefully maybe get into a situation with a running clock later in the game, so conditioning and tiring is not so much of a factor, and you get those starters kind of rested a little bit.
Keys to a victory, the winning strategy, brought to you by Michael A. Finnerty, attorney at law. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton with you on this Friday night. Again, a special thank you to Shane Stewart and our Rougher TV crew, Nick, to overcome the video goblins that were interrupting our chance to broadcast earlier on, and be ready for tonight's ball game by the time we get to kickoff. It is a near picture-perfect night, although a little bit warm, but a beautiful new turf here at Pirate Stadium. Of course, the Pirates colors, orange and black, you see there on your video, the big interlocking PC. Pirates won the coin toss. They elected to take the football. That means the offense will be on the field. And Nick, 2 guys, and we'll hear the names plenty all night long. Quarterback Judd Kiefer, the 6'1", 210-pound returning starter from a year ago, the senior. Last week, 6 of 14 passing, had 8 carries for 43 yards on the ground. But the real workhorse in the offense has been Tobias Batty. Little numerical change, 14 down to 0, but a 6', 200-pound senior running back that can hit the line of scrimmage with a burst of speed.
He did most of the work as far as the ground game last week in the 35-20 loss to McGinnis. He carried 11 times in that game, had 44 yards and a couple of receptions as well. The field here at Pirate Stadium running east and west, and so looking in and out of that sun here in this first quarter until the sun goes away will be a problem for both teams.
Roughers prepare to put it on the tee for the opening kick. Out to do the kicking for Muskogee tonight will be Valente Espinosa, the 5'6", 154-pound soccer-style kicker. Those guys that come off the soccer pitch, you know a little bit about those, Nick. They swing the foot very effectively.
Yep, I had a son who did that for a couple of years, and they build up those leg muscles and become very effective kickers.
So on your screen, the Roughers in all white with the green numerals, the green helmets. Pirates in their white pants, orange jerseys with the white numerals, and that orange and black-clad helmet. Here's the kick, high end-over-end kick that's going to take a bounce at about the 20. Stay in bounds, be picked up by the Pirates running back, but he steps out of bounds. LaDarren Scholes The freshman back in return for the Pirates, stepping out of bounds. The referee marking it at the 9-yard line. So the Rutherford defense will have great field position as we take a look at the starting lineup. We talked about Kiefer and Batty in the backfield. Thomas Stone will be another one of those guys back there. Across the front, tackle to tackle, Randall Sisney, Cayman Brazil, Black Stevenson, Will McCullough, and DJ Hammond. Rutherford's 4-man front across the front. Parker Pellet and Anthony Watson on the ends. Tion Brewer and Vernon Pepe Akada in the middle of the 4-man front. 1st and 10 is out of the gun. Play action, hand the ball off, coming to the left side. Ruffers slamming the door shut quickly as Batty takes the handoff. He'll get upfield from the 9 to about the 10. Nice to see that interior really closing quick there. The linebackers, Tim Moore, Travion Houston, and Koto Barnoski, having plenty of opportunities here tonight.
Well, the Ruffers really have to key on those two guys in the backfield, as you talked about, Batty and the quarterback Kiefer. Those are the guys, the talent guys for this team for the most part.
Twins are wide to the left side this time for Kiefer. He'll take the snap. He'll hand it off again to Batty. Ruffers are in the backfield. They've got a body slam tackle back at the 5. Getting back there quickly that time for Muskogee. Looked like it was Vernon Pepiakada making the tackle on Batty back at the 6. So that'll be a loss of 4. Be interesting to see how the Pirates can convert on 3rd down situations, needing to go to the 19 to pick up the sticks.
Kiefer was 6 of 14 last week in their loss through the air.
Twins wide either side as on a 3rd down and 13. Pirates with the sun to their back. Keeper takes the pocket, has some time, throws in the flat, well underthrown. Trying to throw in the general direction of his intended target, Shamarcus Brown. So it's a 3-and-out for the Rutherford defense.
Good start.
Rutherford defensive coach used to call that a kill.
Yep.
And that's exactly what it was there, because they actually made it tougher for the Pirates. So that'll be a 4th down situation and a punting opportunity. And back to return for the Ruffers will be the speedy and very explosive Dion Bowler.
3 plays and a -3 yards in that series for the Pirates.
Senior Carlos Yanez back to stand about 8 yards deep in his own end zone to wait the snap. Opening quarter of play, 10:45 left, first 12 minutes, still no score. Good snap back to Yanez. One step, gets the line drive kick that Bowler will let bound. He'll just stay away from it, let it roll to a stop. It'll circle up at about the 47-yard line in Pirate territory. And that's where Muskogee will start on the opponent's side of the 50. Here with 10:39 left to go in the opening 12 minutes. Rutherford football in 2023 brought to you by Cornerstone Funeral Home, J. Hodge Chevrolet, Bravado Wireless, Pioneer Abstract, and by Runt's Barbecue, the home of the Tuesday night Rutherford Coaches Show each and every week at 6:30. Not only on Rutherford TV, but on our radio partner, Okie Country, 101.7 KTFX.
41-yard punt that time by Yanez with a good little roll on it.
So 1st and 10 situation. Johnson off the right side. This is Beasley on the sweep. Has blockers in front, trying to get to the edge, changes direction, crosses the 45 and gets close to the 40-yard line, maybe just a few inches shy. They'll call it a 6-yard pickup. Ruffers getting 6 on the 1st down, trying to get the speed of Beasley out on the edge.
Johnson out there leading the way. We threw a nice block, get him a couple of more yards.
Ruffers moving from our left to right, more from east to west. Not too many high school football fields run east and west. Jamarian Ficklin out of the gun, going to take the waist-high snap, throw it underneath route for Caden McGee. He makes the catch, breaks the tackle, sidesteps another would-be stopper, and then went to a knee trying to change directions, and the whistles blow at the 39-yard line. So good recovery that time by the outside defense of the Pirates. They're going to mark this, Nick, for just a 1-yard pickup down to the 40-yard line. So the Ruffers will have their first 3rd down of the night on a 3rd and 3.
It looked like it might go places, but after McGee broke that initial tackle, as you said, Putnam City recovered well and boxed him in for no or very short gain.
Beasley will go wide to the left side along with Jaden Swanson. McGee and one other receiver, that's Johnson in the pocket. They'll throw the little hitch inside, catch made. At about the 35, Jaden Swanson will take it on downfield to the 32. That's an 8-yard pickup, and a Kyle Edwards Buick GMC Rutherford 1st down and 10.
Just a little quick button hook pattern that time by Swanson. Just went down and curled in, and he was wide open.
Kind of get the feeling Pirates secondary, Nick, playing a little bit soft. Wanted to keep everybody in front of them, give the short routes, but nothing deep. 1st and 10 from the 32. Handoff goes to Johnson, trying to get off the block on the edge. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, and going to step on the sideline. The officials say he stepped on the hash mark at about the 17-yard line, but the 15-yard gallop by LJ gives the Ruffers a first down and 10, a Kyle Edwards Buick GMC first down.
Just keeps things rolling. Drive started at the PC 47, now down to the 17.
This will be the fifth snap in this possession as we're down to 9 minutes in the opening quarter play. Clock stopped as Johnson went out of bounds. McGee along with Swanson will be to the right side. Beasley goes in motion. Ficklen's going to pull it, keep it. 15, 10, 5, blocker in front. Dance your way into the end zone, Bird. Touchdown, Ruffers. Touchdown, Nissan of Muskogee on the quarterback gallop by Jamarian Ficklin, flying into the end zone from 17 yards away with 8 minutes and 56 seconds in the opening 12 minutes.
And another credit to Latavian Johnson for a good lead block out there. Sealed off the inside rushers, and Bird able to get to the outside and waltz in.
So on to try the point after touchdown for Muskogee will be Richard Soto Morales. Last week was a perfect 7 for 7. Snap is back, ball down, kicks up, splits the uprights good, and timeout on the field. 8:56 left here in quarter number 1. Muskogee on a 47-yard drive takes the early 7-0 lead. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Ruffer Football 2023.
Jay Hodge here with Rick, a man of few words. Wow! That's one of them. And when you see the savings at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee, tell them, Rick. Wow! New Silverados, 1.9% financing or $5,600 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Don't overpay. Come see Jay.
New Silverados, 1.9% financing.
Wow!
Now at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee,
144 West Shawnee.
Pirate Stadium in Oklahoma City, west side of the Metroplex. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton, and our Ruffer TV crew bring you the sights and sounds of Muskogee football again here in 2023. 47-yard drive. Ruffers took just 5 plays to reach the end zone. Jamarian Ficklin's 17-yard gallop, and it's a 7-0 score.
Way to start the game. You shut down the offense on 3 plays, a loss of 4 yards totally in their series, and then Ruffers come right back on a quick 47-yard drive.
So now Espinosa will be out to do the kicking off. Espinosa does the kicking off. Soto Morales on the PATs. Good way to start. Defense and offense flexing their muscles, hoping to kind of put some fear into the face and the heart of the Pirates. Espinosa swings the right leg, puts it up high in the sky. It's caught, and again, stepping out of bounds is the return man for the Pirates. That time, that was Elijah Asbury.
And that one was going to go out of bounds.
It was.
First kick was questionable, but that one was clearly going to sail out.
So self-tackleization is what they would call that at the 11-yard line. No time off the clock as the Pirates will begin their second series. Last time from the 9, this time from the 11. On to run the offense for head coach Willis Alexander in his first year at Putnam City. Last year was the head coach for a year at Putnam City West. He, of course, won a state title while coaching at Oklahoma City Douglas. Kiefer in the pocket, going to set up, wants to pass, rolls to his right, looking to run or throw under some pressure, throws the ball downfield. Receiver got behind the Ruffer secondary, and a shoestring tackle, lost containment. That's Elijah Asbury. Made the kickoff mistake, but that time he comes up with the big play, got behind everybody, and goes to the 48-yard line. A 37-yard pass play and a 1st and 10 for the Pirates.
Ruffers got kind of low there with the roll. Took a lot of time to develop, and the receiver got open.
So now Kiefer with the running back to his right, going to ride the belly, pull it, keep it himself. He'll be wrapped up and stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Tim Moore, the linebacker, quickly on the tackle. Call it no gain, 2nd down and 10. You got to be careful. Don't be looking too far upfield and forget you got receivers coming at you. This time Pirates will send a 3-receiver set to the left side. Asbury, the inside receiver of the 3. As Kiefer will again work from the shotgun. Play action, throw it out in space, off the fingertips of the intended target that time, Trip Alexander.
Alexander just drifted out to the right, but the pass just a little high and wide and sails off his fingertips.
So another 3rd down situation. Pirates so far tonight are 0 for 1. Again, Putnam City flashing in the offensive signals. They put twin receivers out here to the left, and a pair will go outside the hash mark to the right. Batty as the running back. He's off the right shoulder of Judd Kiefer on a 3rd down and 10. Snap is back,
Motion
and
on the right
motion on
side.
the outside far receiver. Getting a little bit too excited that time was Vasanio Boyd. 5-yard penalty will back it up and make the 3rd down conversion even that more difficult. Rougher Football in 2023 brought to you by Excel Physical Therapy, by Nissan of Muskogee, by Lesher Millsap Funeral Service, and by Serpro. It's like it never happened.
3rd and 15 now facing the Pirates as they go with the sun at their back right now.
From the 42-yard lines where they have to go on the opposite side, the ball resting at the 43 in Pirate territory. Twins left and right. Fisher will come up, and I think he's going to readjust the football back out to the 43.
Tough time for the receivers for the Pirates. I'll have to look back into that sun.
Barnoski on a twist, going to throw the ball downfield deep. Ruffer's doing a pretty good job defensive, and that's going to be a hold on the Ruffer outside defender.
That's on White, I think. Anthony White was a little bit too close, I think, in coverage.
So the long pass incomplete, but the penalty, it'll be pass interference, and that should bring with it a 1st down, as it was 3rd and 15. Holding is going to be the call on the Ruffers rather than pass interference.
So that's just 10 yards. And not an automatic 1st down.
Officiating crew out of the Oklahoma City Metroplex Officials Association.
So that'll move the ball up into rougher territory at about the 47 or 8.
Right at the 47-yard line after the holding penalty.
So now 3rd and 5 coming up for the Pirates.
Have to get to the 42. Caden Hatfield will line up as kind of a blocking back. Batty will be the running back, and Kiefer will work out of the shotgun. Takes the snap, hands it off to Batty, coming to his left outside, 45, 40, 35 on the edge with some quickness. Bowler will come over and make the tackle, but not before the Pirates running back showing a little bit of elusiveness, and he dances his way downfield from the 47 all the way to the 26-yard line. 21-yard gallop on the 3rd down conversion, and a Putnam City Pirate 1st down and 10.
Good block out there by the big tackle, DJ Hammond, for the Pirates, who sprung him out to the outside.
This time with stacked receivers to the boundary, short side left, bring motion. Kiefer will wait on the snap. He'll take it, hand it off to Batty, coming left, rubber stunt, get in the backfield. As getting back there quickly was Vernon P.
Got him by the ankles.
And then he had a lot of friendly fire coming his way to help out, dropping the Pirates running back for a loss back up to the 29, so a loss of 3 on 1st down. Clock showing 7 minutes and 28 seconds left to go here in the opening 12 minutes of play. Muskogee on top, 7-0. Scoreboard update brought to you by Nissan of Muskogee. Slot back will be to the left of the quarterback, along with the running back. Now, motion across. He'll hold. The handoff will go to Batty. He'll try to go right side. Ruffers that time, pretty good containment. First man getting over there from Muskogee was Parker Pellet, the senior defensive end, 6'2" and a 20-pounder. Stopping that virtually for no gain on the play. 3rd down and 13. Pirates are 1 for 2 so far on 3rd down opportunities. Ruffers trying to match up out on the far side edges as trips go wide to the right of the quarterback. Kiefer overlooking the defensive coverage, going to turn, throw back to his receiver. Ruffers this time better get a holding penalty. There's none called. Boy, how the side judge that time didn't see the defensive effort of the Muskogee defensive back. Jaden Swanson had a pretty good hold on that orange jersey.
Sure did.
Pass well overthrown, but it could have easily been a defensive holding foul. Certainly from the sideline, the Pirate coaches voicing their displeasure to the gentleman wearing the stripes.
So 4th down and about 12 or 13 for the Pirates from
Might expect PC to
to
come right back with the same play. Kiefer overlooking the defensive coverage. Takes the shoulder high snap. Now being flushed from the pocket. Kiefer rolling to his right, changes direction, comes back, throws it up for grabs, has a receiver down there, but just cannot find the trailing back coming across the field. That time that was Trip Alexander, the young son of the head coach, Willis Alexander, the intended target. Incomplete on the fourth down. Turnover on downs. Ruffers will get it back at their own 29-yard line. 6:12 left to go in the opening quarter. 7-0 Muskogee. Rougher football this season again brought to you by Innovative Renovations LLC. Nick, if you need some construction work done around the house, maybe some repairs to the patios or anything else like that, you can call on the folks at Innovative Renovations LLC. Check them out on Facebook. We're going to take a quick 30-second time out here on Rougher TV.
Check your tongue out. Huh?
Yeah, I might need to do that. 6:12 left, opening quarter, 7-0 Ruffers, back in 30 seconds. This is Rougher Football 2023.
There's really only one explanation for businesses who continue to thrive for decades on end, and that's a people-first mentality. Bravado employees live within our existing coverage area just like you. Our kids go to the same schools and play in the same leagues as yours. That's why so much of who we are consists of giving back to our communities, because your community is also our community. We are your family, your neighbors, and your leader in wireless mobility. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Ruffers taking a timeout on the change of possession will have the football.
Actually, I believe that was an official timeout.
Okay.
Water break.
So they'll take the break, give the players as well as the officials a chance to relax and cool just a bit on those temperatures that were in the mid-90s at kickoff. As I mentioned going into the break, Outdoor Renovations LLC, whether it's decks, carports, pergolas, privacy fences, porches, buildings, and more, count on the good team, Anthony Torix and his crew at Outdoor Renovations LLC.
Good job. All right.
So the Check them out on Facebook, too.
Let's see what the Ruffers do now. They'll have a longer field. So last week they depended upon the big play. They had 3 plays of 50 yards or more. I'm sure that Travis Hill would like to see him kind of grind it out a little bit maybe. If you get the big play, fine. But consistency, pick up the ball and move the chains.
E.J. James in motion across the formation. They'll play action pass. Ficklin wants to set up and throw deep. McGee's behind everybody. The pass just off the fingertips, just a wee bit long as McGee had cut on the post pattern across the middle. Trying to give coverage was Louis Montoys, but the pass a little bit too long, but plenty of protection for Bird that time to find his target.
A lot of good misdirection on that play, too. They faked it to James, faked it to Beasley, and just a quick little bootleg back by the Bird, and he was on target. I think McGee may have had a little stutter step in there that kept him from getting quite to the ball.
Beasley, James, and McGee this time will be trips wide to the short side right. Ficklin quickly in the pocket, play action, throw back opposite side. Catch dropped by Michael Puckett. Now the ball, that's incomplete. Pirates picked it up and ran it into the end zone. Fans got all excited. But it was a forward pass. It's ruled incomplete.
I was going to say it bounced once. I don't know why they were getting so excited out there.
So it's now third down after back-to-back incompletions here on this second series.
Again, a nice move, though, by Ficklin as he took the ball, looked to his right, and then came back to his left, threw the ball on target.
Ruffers doing a pretty good job up front, providing plenty of time for Bird to check his options. Levante Espierre was in the backfield. 3rd and 10, have to reach the 39 to stay in front of the chains. Bird will take it, grab it with one hand, the left hand, going to rifle a pass out in space, caught, contained at the 40. After the 43-yard line goes the Ruffer receiver.
E.J. James, I think, was the man out there for the Ruffers.
Bird kind of caught that snap with one hand, and E.J. did the same. So, in all, going to be see where they'll mark it at the 44. Be a 15-yard pass completion and a Kyle Edwards Buick GMC Ruffer, first down and 10.
Just what you need to keep the chains moving, exactly.
Clock showing 5 minutes, 52 seconds left in the opening 12 minutes of play. Ficklin this time will give it off to Johnson, darting to his left. Flags come out of the back judge pocket. That's more than likely going to be a hold on the offensive lineman. Good to hear yesterday, Nick, that one of the rougher starting offensive linemen, 3-year starter, as a matter of fact, Braden Henry, the center, gaining some All-American
notoriety.
Notoriety there, yeah, exactly. I started to say notification because he got a notification.
He did get a notification.
And he was going to be selected to play in the East-West All-American game. They play 2 games, and one will be in the Dallas area, one in Tampa, Florida. It's uncertain at this time which one of those 2 sites, Pancake, Braden Henry, will get to experience that opportunity. But congratulations to the Ruffers senior.
10-yard walk-off on the hold makes it 1st and 20 for the Ruffers.
Back at the 36-yard line. So from the spot of the foul, I guess they just walked off 8 yards. Ficklin in the pocket. Good pressure. Steps up in the pocket. Changes his direction. Tries to find a blocker. Got just a little bit of protection to scamper upfield to, we'll call, the 30-yard line. Pick up a 4 by
right at
Bird.
the 40, it looks like. So he'll get about 4.
So the Ruffers will be looking at a 2nd down and 14. Here tonight in Putnam City, next Friday night, expected showdown of 2 number 1 ranked teams. 6A2's Muskogee, provided the rest of this night goes as according to plan, or next week against Midwest City Carl Albert. Passed the ball downfield, and Latavian Johnson was the intended target. He got caught looking and backpedaling and lost his true vision on the ball. And on the release, Pirates also got in that secondary and gave a little pressure in the face, as Trip Alexander was one of the guys wearing the orange and white in the face of Ficklin. So the incomplete pass brings up a 3rd down.
Again, nice ball handling, though, by Bird, as he ducked and kept the ball down low and kept everyone guessing where it was. And like you say, Johnson, I'm not sure if he stumbled out there. He didn't get quite far enough down the field for the pattern.
2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions. Anthony Watson, the solo wideout to the left side. Trips come to the right. Ficklin takes the numbers high snap, dancing away from the pressure, rolling to his left, pumps, angles for the sticks, and gets out of bounds. But good pressure in the face of the rougher quarterback, and Ficklin able to get back to the
43.
43, yep.
3 yards gained by Bird, but leaves the Ruffers short, and they're going to have to punt.
Well, that'll mean Jamarian Ficklin will go back to punt. A year ago, had a 39-yard average. Pirates will put a man back inside their 15-yard line on a 4th down and 11. Ruffers here, I think, take too much time, or there's procedure. Somebody moved in the trenches. Beasley went in motion. So that'll turn it into a 4th and 16 situation. What is that, holding or penalty flag number 3 on the screen?
3 for 25 already. That's not a good sign for
That's
the
the consistency factor that Travis Hill's been so insistent that his ball club find here early on in these non-district encounters.
It makes it hard, too, when you're trying to overcome those penalties and you end up with a 3rd and 15 or 3rd and 18.
So on 4th down, Ficklin back to punt. Snap back to Bird. He'll launch an end-over-end kick. The Pirate return man will come and field it at the 17, get to the boundary at the 20, knocked off by the shoulder up to about the 34. Teddy Bohannon in on the return. Coming out to where they're going to mark this, Nick, at the 33-yard line.
Yep, I think so.
16-yard return, and that's where the Pirates will take over with 5:13 still left to go in quarter number 1. For football this season, brought to you in part by My Place Barbecue West. Make your place my place. Each and every day is the great time to make the drive out to the west side and go in and let a couple members of our Rougher TV crew serve you. Maddie and Bree and the whole team there at My Place Barbecue West do a great job, and they'll fill your plate, fill your belly, and leave you very, very happy. There was a penalty flag on the return.
Looks like a major walk-off against the Pirates.
Flag was thrown upfield at the 47. But a block in the back appears to be the call.
Yeah.
And they'll walk it off from the end of the return and move the ball back instead of from the 34 back to the 19. So Putnam City hurting itself with field position. Actually, special teams errors, Nick. They've had 2 on kickoffs and now here 1 on the punt return. Although, don't take anything away from Teddy Bohannon. Now they're actually making it further back to the 9.
Wow, okay. I'm not sure I understand that, but that's a big walk-off, so it's now 1st and
actually
48, is that right?
Might have been a couple of unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, Nick, because now they are going to reset
they're
the
going to set the chains.
Started to say they'd put it at the 33, and I was like a bit confused, but we'll wait on the sticks to move.
So it's going to be 1st and 10, so they're going to mark it there.
Well, it's Alexander having a word with the side judge. Now he's motioning for the referee to come over and have a friendly conversation with the Pirates boss. You know, we're fast approaching the change in seasons. I know with it 95 degrees plus here in Oklahoma City today, it's hard to think about fall weather, Nick, but it's coming. It's around the corner. And soon those green leaves are going to turn to a bright gold, red, and brown. They'll fall. They'll loiter your yard. And I know at my house, if I had a penny for every leaf that was on the ground, I could retire and live comfortably and so could my kids and grandchildren. However, they don't pay me for the leaves, but I'm more than happy to pay the crew from Zapata Lawn and Tree Service to come out and just immaculately remove the leaves, make it look just like it was the middle of the summertime.
Yeah.
When you need lawn care, count on Antonio Zapata. He's mi amigo. He can be su amigo. Call him at Zapata Lawn and Tree Service or check him out on Facebook and make sure that all your lawn care needs as well as those holiday lights can go up without a problem when you count on Zapata Lawn and Tree.
Now the officials go over and converse with Travis Hill about what's going on.
So we'll just have to wait and let this one play out. Nick, a full slate of action going on across the state involving 6A2 teams. Last night, Del City shut out Tulsa, Washington 48-0. Ponca City hosting Enid. Sapulpa entertaining Tahlequah. Bartlesville at home against Claremore. Choctaw going to Edmond Santa Fe. Snap is back. Handoff to the running back out of the backfield. This time looks like it's LaDarren Scholes. He'll get from the 9 up to the 12. We'll pick up a 3 on the first down carry.
First carry for him tonight.
Clock at 4 minutes and 50 seconds left here in quarter number 1. Glad to have our listeners and viewers aboard on Ruffer TV as well as on Okie Country 1017. Kiefer out of the pistol. High snap, turns, hands it off. Again to Scholes, gets a block on the right side. Finds a crease and battles his way upfield to about the 16-yard line. So that'll be a 4-yard pickup. For the Pirates again, we'll be looking at third down and about 3.
So the Ruffers would surely like to make a stop here and force the Pirates to have to punt from pretty deep in their own territory.
Pirates' best running game, though, has been away from the heavy side. They've gone more to the opposite side and made good yardage, as they have in the last 2 carries. So now Kiefer with Scholes in the backfield. Puts Twins out wide to the right, and now there's another penalty flag for a delay of game. Well, I'm not sure.
Malachi Hopkins was in there at defensive end.
Procedure is going to be the call.
He went across the line of scrimmage, and I think that's the call.
So the 5-yard walk-off will be against the Pirates. It's like somebody moved up in that offensive front.
Causing Hopkins, I guess, to jump. So 5-yard walk-off moves it back to the 11.
So 3rd and 3 now turns into third down and 8 yards to go as the Pirates must reach the 19. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton with you on this week 1 officially, but game number 2 for the Muskogee Ruffers. After last week defeating Enid by a count of 49-27. Kiefer out of the gun, straight drop back, being chased by Pepiaka. The flags are down, that's holding. And then the quarterback will throw it in the intended direction of Thomas Stone, but that's incomplete. But I think we've got another grab of the Ruffer jersey. Holding is going to be the call. Pretty easy spot there. Yeah, backing on up.
Well, I think I would decline this if I was them.
Now Ruffer coaches across the way indicating decline the penalty.
Yep, so it'll be 4th down now.
So Muskogee will get the ball back, and barring a booming kick from Carlos Yanez, Muskogee should get pretty good field position.
So this is exactly what they wanted to happen on this series. Ruffers kind of stalled on their last drive, had some penalty problems, so now they'll get the ball back in good position.
3 minutes, 40 seconds in what has seemed like an eternity, 12 minutes here at Pirate Stadium.
A lot of penalties. That slows it down.
Yanez will stand about 5 yards deep in the end zone. Bowler will wait at around the 40-yard line of the Pirates to return this kick. Shadows beginning to drench the field. High snap. Yanez gets the kick away. Bowler will just get out of the way of it and take a big PC bounce and roll and come to a curling stop at the 49-yard line in PC territory. But Muskogee will get it back.
Ruffers lost about 10 yards there. Bowler could have come up and fielded that, I think, but decided to let it go. And he would have been around the 40, and the ball ends up almost at midfield.
So the third offensive possession of the Ruffers. The first one went flawlessly, going the distance. 47 yards in 5 plays with Chamarian Ficklin on the 17-yard touchdown scamper. Soto Morales PAT makes it our current score 7-0. Motion Beasley. Hand off to Beasley. Trying to find a blocker. Didn't find one and got wrapped up in the backfield by Michael Exum. There is a flag down away from the action, too. I think that's going to be a holding, too.
PC May, there was a loss on the play of about 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, holding was against the offensive lineman of the Ruffers on the right side. That looked like it might have been Caleb Houston, the guilty party. Speaking of those offensive linemen, pretty good size up front. Tion Brewer on one side, 6'3", 265. Vernon Papayakat at 6'1", 293. Braden Henry at 6'1", 260. Caleb Houston, 6'2", and 300. And Wesley Harvey at 6'8", and 282 pounds.
So that'll move the ball back to about the 41. The officials...
46, right? No, you're right, 41.
They put it at the 46.
Don't understand.
Don't know why. Ruffers will say, hey, that's great. But that's only 5 yards. Okay. All right. We'll take it.
I'll take it, yeah. Put it at the 46 after the 5-yard loss. So perhaps the heat getting to the officials a little bit. Ficklin in the pocket. Pumps once, throws back underneath. Catch made by Johnson. Got a great block on the edge from Brewer, and that allowed LJ to come up the boundary. And he goes across midfield into Pirate territory all the way to the 41.
18 yards on the pass and catch, and that puts the Ruffers in good shape on second down. And it's just
46 to the 41, Nick.
I'm just looking at the chain marker, though. And it's just second down, I think.
Yeah, it's third down. I mean, it is third down now.
Okay.
Third down and 2 have to go to the 39. Encroachment on the nose guard of the Pirates, who was trying to get somebody to jump, but breaks the line of scrimmage barrier, as in the trench up front that time was Blake Stevenson. The penalty will give the Ruffers a first down at the 36. The Kyle Edwards Buick Ruffer, 1st and 10.
So the Ruffers moving the ball after the initial holding penalty and then the big pass play.
Clock will start. 2 minutes and 50 seconds running here in quarter number 1. Muskogee holding to a 7-0 lead, as McGee and Beasley will pair up as receivers outside to the right. Bees will come in motion. They'll counter inside, give it off to Johnson, trying to spin out of a grasp of a tackle. He'll get maybe a yard, but good effort inside. The middle linebacker for the Pirates does such an excellent job of plugging the middle. That's Braden Knox, 6'3", 230-pound junior. He was a horse last year in the loss to the Ruffers, but certainly he's looking for bigger things here in his junior campaign. Gain of 1. Ficklin rolling to his right, setting up, rifles a pass. McGee diving for it. And Bird, as he threw the ball, I think slipped just a little bit on the release. So Muskogee will have another third down situation.
So the Ruffer offense kind of sputtering around after an initial 47-yard touchdown drive. Last couple of series have had penalties and incompletions kind of stop them.
2 for 3 on third down chances to this point. Watson and Johnson will be split to the left. McGee, Beasley, And Swanson to the right. Empty backfield for Bird. Sets up in the pocket. Time to throw downfield. Looking for Beasley, who got knocked off his path.
He was double covered, though. That was going to be a tough completion.
It was. The incomplete pass will leave a 4th down and 9. And the way the game has gone as far as field position is concerned, Nick, I think Ruffers will, as it appears, go for it to try to convert.
I think Bird had his eyes set on that deep ball all the way and waited and waited. He could have, I think there were a couple of guys underneath that he could have thrown to maybe, but he had his eyes and mind set on the deep ball.
9 of 15 passing a week ago for 253 yards. Needs to move the Ruffers at least 9 here. Picklin will take the snap. Blitz comes off the edge. Bird's going to throw the ball down deep. McGee's out there backpedaling at the 5 into the end zone. Touchdown! Adjusting to the ball in flight. Big play. Caden McGee for his 2nd touchdown reception of the season. This one from the 35-yard line, and the Ruffers put their second 6 points on the scoreboard. It's a nice way to finish the possession on a 4th down conversion for 6.
After kind of struggling a little bit, that's a nice way to finish it off.
Caden McGee with his 2nd touchdown catch of the year. Soto Moradas on to try to make it 9 in a row. The ball down. The kick splits the uprights. Good. And with 1:49 left in the opening 12 minutes, Muskogee 14, Putnam City 0. We're back in 30 seconds on Rougher Football 2023.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Perhaps not as you would draw it up, but the 6-play drive covering the 49 yards on the 4th down pass completion. Jamarian Ficklin to Caden McGee, and the Ruffers have the 14-0 lead. Some nice insurance points there, Nick, and when you need insurance, call your fast, fair, and friendly State Farm insurance agent, David Cobb. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. David Cobb handles all of my insurance. Let him take care of all your needs. 918-682-2511. State Farm Insurance Agent, David Cobb. Espinosa's kick this time will go to the sideline. The ball bouncing around. Finally, he'll be picked up. Boy, that checked up like a nice wedge shot.
Yeah. And the poor guys back there trying to receive or trying to figure out whether the ball's going to go in or stay out or what. That time it bounced right at the sideline, went straight up.
First time the Pirates on a kicking error started from their 9. The second time starting from their 11. On their 3rd possession, had their best field position, or no, actually with penalties, that started at the 9. Now this one will begin at the 14. 1:47 to play here in the opening quarter of action. Judd Kiefer, the quarterback, back with Tobias Batty to his left shoulder. They bring motion around the formation. Snap is down, handed off. This is Batty dancing to his right across 15, 20. High steps the tackler across the 25. And all the way out to about the 27-yard line goes Tobias Badley on the 13-yard gallop for a Pirate 1st and 10.
Touchdown saving tackle by E.J. James. As Batty tried to leap over him, James just got him by the ankle, and that was the last guy between Batty and the goal line.
Twins are out wide to the left. They'll hand it off again. No, actually, this time Kiefer's going to keep it. Gets to the corner, hesitates momentarily, and you can't do that when Tim Moore has his sights zeroed in. The Ruffer linebacker coming in face-to-face with the Pirates quarterback, stopping him short of the line to gain, actually losing a yard back to the 26. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton, and our Ruffer TV crew doing the production tonight. Batty will line up this time to the left of Kiefer. The quarterback for the Pirates will stand tall in the top pocket. Wait, under some trouble. Now running for the sideline, has some boundary area, and across the 30, the 35, and where will they say stepped on the sideline? I think he's going to be short of the line to gain, Nick, right at the 36. But it'll be a 10-yard pickup. Ruffers lost containment.
Malachi Hopkins was the guy out there on the end chasing him and couldn't quite catch him, and he got around him for the yards gained.
So a 3rd down and 2, needing to reach the 38. See what the Pirates will opt to do on this snap with 54 seconds left in the opening quarter. Kiefer will point to the ground. He'll hand it off to Betty through a crease, has the 1st down, or close to it, before finally being stood up. Now this will be close to see the forward progress movement.
Right on the chains. I think they'll give it to him.
Pirates have a player down as well.
One of their big linemen, Will McCullough.
It is marked a 1st and 10. So that'll put the football at the 38-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Putnam City. We've got a break in the action with 45 seconds left. Muskogee leading 14-0. Let's pause 30 seconds. This is Rougher Football 2023.
Brunt's Barbecue serves up hand-rubbed, slow-cooked goodness. Anytime you're feeding a few hundred, hey, we're just tailgating with friends. Call the experts. Brunt's Barbecue. Ribs, brisket, burnt ends, mouth-watering hot link, and smoked chicken. Where everything is made from scratch, from the barbecue sauce to the banana pudding. Give us a try, and you won't be disappointed. Brunt's Barbecue. 918-681-3900. Brunt's Barbecue. Slow-cooked goodness in Muskogee.
Will McCullough able to pull himself together and walk off the field. For the Pirates, got a good round of applause from the home fans. 1st and 10 for PC. Moving from right to left or from west to east as the sun drops behind the western edge. And Judd Kiefer, the senior quarterback, will bring the Pirates to the line of scrimmage. High snap. Kiefer pulls it down, gives it to Batty. Oh, there's Vernon Pep and company. Pepe Yakata and Watson. That's like running into 2 bulls in a china closet.
That play didn't have a chance with a high snap. It just ruined the entire timing of the play. And by the time Batty was able to get his feet back underneath him, Pepe Yakata and company were there.
15 seconds in the clock running here. Pirates may just opt to let the quarter expire, and that's going to be the way it will go. After 12 minutes of action tonight here at Pirate Stadium in Oklahoma City, Muskogee Ruffers leading the Pirates of Putnam City High School by the count of 14-0. Back in 60 seconds, you're watching and listening to Rougher Football in 2023.
I'm Kyle Edwards for Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and the all-new Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota. With the addition of Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Shakota and Buick GMC in Muskogee, it now gives our customers a great lineup of new makes and models to choose from. We are very proud to bring you a buying experience you won't find anywhere else. If you haven't visited us yet, come give us a chance. You'll like what you see. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. From setback to comeback, the name you can trust, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
12 minutes in the books. Ruffers with a pair of touchdowns. Jamarian Ficklin on a 17-yard scamper on the first possession. The third possession for the Ruffers went 49 yards in 6 plays. It was Bird to Caden McGee on a 4th down conversion for the touchdown.
Couple of scores from 6A2. Claremore leading Bartlesville 14-0. Enid's ahead of Ponca City 14-7. Tahlequah up on Sapulpa 21-6.
A little bit of a surprise there.
Yeah.
High snap. Batty will take the exchange, going to his left. 40, lowers his hand to maintain his balance, and then will just use the lower body leg strength to race it all the way up to the 47, 48-yard line. Looks to be close enough and appears to be Putnam City Pirates 1st down and 10.
Good hard running that time by Batty. He broke one tackle, just lowered his shoulder and ran over another one and got 11 yards on it.
This time Batty again between the center and guard, just a straight dive up the middle of the field. First one of the Ruffers to get there was Malachi Hopkins. With that gain exploding across midfield from the 48 on one end to the 48 on the other, a 5-yard pickup. Betty again, this time trying to dance to the edge, and the Ruffers shut the door quickly.
Tim Moore back there off his linebacker spot.
Timmy also getting a little help from TT, Travion Houston, the middle and the outside backer doing the job. Stopping that for a loss back upfield to the 48, so a loss of a yard. And another third down situation for the Pirates. 2 wide receivers outside the hash to the far left. Kiefer out of the pocket. Takes the helmet high snap. Going to lob this one up. Downfield looking for receiver. This one is stripped free.
E.J. James doing a nice job defensively for the Ruffers. Step for step right there, and he just reached in, had his hands on the ball for a moment, but made sure he knocked it away.
The Sonny O'Boyd was the intended target. The ball knocked to the turf, incomplete. So it'll be a punting situation for Putnam City. And that'll bring on Carlos Yanez.
Kiefer 1 of 7 so far passing tonight for 37 yards.
A lot of that just due to misguided throws and some due to drop passes. Timeout taken down on the field. We'll do the same. 10:50 left before halftime. Muskogee 14, Putnam City nothing. We're back in 30 seconds on Rougher Football 2023.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael A. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton back with you from Putnam City Pirate Stadium. 10 minutes, 50 seconds to go before halftime. It'll be 4th down for the Pirates, needing to reach the Muskogee 42. So a 4th and 6. Yanez will be back deep in punt formation. Owasso leading Jinx in the first quarter, 7-0. Broken Arrow in front of Union, 10-7. Yanez will stand inside his own 40-yard line to wait the long snap. Low at his feet, he'll pick it up, and with one step, boom, this one. He'll drive Bowler back inside the 10. It'll take a fortunate bounce for the Ruffers and roll into the end zone. All in all, a 48-yard punt with no return, and Muskogee will take over. 1st and 10 with 10 minutes and 40 seconds to go before intermission. I want to invite you to stay tuned at halftime. What'll become a normal part of our halftime break. We'll sit down with a little visit with the superintendent of the school. You'll get to find out the latest happenings inside the Muskogee Public School District. We call it Moments with Dr. M. Jared Mendenhall, he'll be aboard to visit with us. We sat down in his offices earlier this week, and the number 1 Ruffer had plenty of things to say, talking about some of those security advances Ruffers will have to have ready next Friday night when they host Carl Albert. Ficklin on a quick opener to
Johnson.
Latavian Johnson. He'll fall forward upfield for about a 3-yard pickup. Just the sign of the times we live in, Nick, with the adjustments having to be made by all the schools, even here at Putnam City tonight. 2-yard gain marked there. And I know it seems like it's an inconvenience, but given all the circumstances, I think it's worth the extra 30 seconds it might take you to get in the gate. 2nd and 8. Ficklin taking the snap, blitz off the edge. Bird rifles one up and out of the hands. I mean, he put a heater into the fingertips of Andre Beasley, who might have been ready to go upfield before he secured the possession.
Yeah, you saw him turn his head up to take a look before he had the ball put away.
So that'll stop the clock with 10:01 to go before halftime. Ruffers with 2 drives, one of 47 yards, another of 49. This time beginning their 4th offensive series.
There was a penalty on the play.
And there was a penalty, so it'll replay the 2nd down. So the incompletion won't go, But the penalty is going to mark it all the way back to the 12-yard line on the hold.
It's been a holding, yep. That's the 5th penalty of the night on the Roughers.
So an empty backfield for Jamarian Ficklin, the junior quarterback. Takes the snap. The left-hander drops in the pocket, waits, eludes the pressure. Now rolls to his right, looking to run and throw, has an open field, looking to find some blockers to pick up. Nobody came to give him any assistance. But Bird will scamper upfield using his quickness to avoid a sack and then go from the 12-yard line out to the 24, so he'll get 12 on second down.
He had all kinds of running room out there once he rolled to his right, wide open, but like you say, no one was out there to block once he got past the 20, and so he was forced out of bounds.
The Roughers on another third down situation will have Beasley on the inside of 3, McGee in the middle, and Jaden Swanson on the outside edge. Ficklin, empty backfield, takes it, dancing, trying to find a way, and got smothered. This time, Jamarian Ficklin did a little dancing, and he got to meet the feared linebacker of the Pirates, Braden Knox. Wraps him up for a loss back at the 19-yard line.
Loss of 5 on the play, and will force Bird back to punt.
Clock showing 9:24 left here in the opening half. Ficklin will stand inside his 10, take the snap, going to take off and run. Has quickness. He's going to get a first down and a lot more.
He had all kinds of room. Yeah.
That was just catching the Pirates peeling back to set up a return, and it was a design call from the get-go. Ficklin will go from the 19 all the way out to the 32-yard line. That's good enough for a Kyle Edwards Buick GMC Rougher. First down and 10. Second, fourth down conversion of the night.
13 yards on the scamper by Bird. Like you say, the Pirates just left the line of scrimmage to go back and block and left Bird wide open field.
So let's see if this risk by the Roughers will result in anything good. Ficklin this time will go under center, a little quick pitch out to Beasley. Trying to turn the corner. Flags are down. That's going to be a hold.
Gosh, the Roughers. Another nice run wiped out by the holding penalty.
That would have been a first down out to the 43, but I think that yellow flag is going to bring it all the way
let's
back.
See. I think he picked it up, so no flag.
So they'll pick it up. Apparently it was the official talking with the white hat. And they do wave off the flag, so
it's an 11-yard pickup by Beasley and a first down.
Kyle Edwards Buick GMC Rougher first down and 10. Sixth play of this series that began at the 20-yard line. At the 10:40 mark, we're down to 8:55 and counting before halftime. Beasley, Watson out to the near side. This time going to be the load sweep. It's Johnson, 50, 45, into Pirate territory and then getting shoved out of bounds, but this time it is coming back.
They're calling Anthony Watson out there trying to lead the way for a hold or a bad block.
Flag was thrown right about the 43-yard line. School started, Nick. Everybody trying to make sure they're well seated for the upcoming school year.
It is a hold against the Roughers.
Whenever you start thinking about relocation, or you start maybe just getting the itch to find a new place to live around the Muskogee area, there's one person to check. That's with Monica Medley and the team at First Choice Realty, Century 21. First choice should be your only choice when you need housing, whether it be apartment rental, whether it be home ownership. Call the team Monica Medley at Century 21 First Choice Realty.
6 penalties for 55 yards so far in the game for Muskogee, and we still have a good part of the second quarter to play.
Back to the 34-yard line, the line of scrimmage. Trips go wide to the right. Ficklin in the pocket. The left-hander waits, rifles a pass, catch out of the boundary, caught by Jaden Swanson, but they're going to say he's out of bounds. Bird just doesn't quite seem to be on sync tonight.
Another flag down in the backfield.
It may be a holding on the protection for the Rougher quarterback.
This cannot be making Travis Hill happy.
Well, for a multitude of reasons.
Yeah.
So that'll move the ball back to the 24-yard line, where it will be
second down
and
20,
about 30 yards.
Yeah, all right.
Clock will stop. Referees will take a timeout. Somebody needs to get redirected, and Travis Hill, with arms crossed, is waiting on his offense to come over and listen. We'll take the break. We'll pause 30 seconds. Ruffers on top, 14-0 here at Pirate Stadium. Back after this on Rougher Football 2023.
There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com. There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com.
Glad to have everybody watching and listening. Tonight's broadcast from Pirate Stadium in Putnam City, which is on the northwest edge of Oklahoma City Metroplex. Of course, this high school, the original Putnam City High School, now with the years of growth in the community, 3 high schools serving the PC district, Putnam City North, and Putnam City West, a team in which the Ruffers will see later on in district play.
About 3 weeks from tonight, or 4.
So the ball will be put at the 24-yard line.
Second and 29 by my mathematical calculations.
Used your fingers and toes twice, didn't you? All the way across the 50-yard line to the 47 will be the line to gain. Johnson to the left of Ficklin. Bird will take it, 3-step drop. Good protection, set up, throw the deep ball down the boundary. Swanson out there, but that pass just too wide and too long. Incomplete.
Bird tonight, 4 of 12 passing, so
not the type of night you would expect from the highly skilled and heralded Ruffer quarterback. You know, that was one of the things that Travis Hill talked with me about during the summer. Yeah, we still got Bird, we still got McGee, but this is an entirely new unit, and they've got to find their sync, and that's what you want to achieve during these first 3 games of the year. But now a 3rd and 29. Down marker says second, but I think it's 3rd.
It is 3rd.
Beasley in motion. Try to run the sweep to Beasley. He'll break 1 tackle, but can't elude the containment. And the Ruffers will lose yardage even again. Back to the 22.
So give the PC defense some credit. They didn't take the fake, and they stayed with Beasley and swarmed him out there on the right.
So now it'll be 3rd down and 31. Ruffers seem to be headed in the wrong direction on this possession, Nick.
Definitely so. Started at the 43-yard line and is now back to the 22.
7:57 and the clock moving here in quarter number 2. Ruffers going from right to left or from west to east. Ficklin with 3 wide receivers out to his left. Stands in the pocket, plenty of protection. Now rifles the pass downfield. Caden trying to adjust to it. Has the grab at the 35-yard line. And just fighting for possession. Now it's the Pirates trying to rip the ball free. And Caden says, "Not from me, you won't." And that goes for a Ruffer 1st down and 10. Wow. From the 21 on one end to the 33 on the other. 29 plus 18, Nick. That adds up to a 47-yard 3rd down completion. Kyle Edwards Buick GMC, 1st down and 10.
Well, that makes the numbers go up quite a bit.
But McGee really kind of had to wait on that one. It kind of held up in the air. Caden will be a single receiver out to the far side right. Beasley and Swanson will be off the line of scrimmage to the left. I think the Ruffers have enough people up on the line. Now McGee will adjust late. And a timeout here going to be taken by the Putnam City Pirates. We'll do the same. Scoreboard reads 7:09 on the 2nd quarter clock and a 14-0 lead for the Muskogee Ruffers tonight here at Putnam City. Back in 30 seconds, you're watching and listening to Ruffer Football in 2023. Tradition, it's a word that means a lot. Just as the tradition of the Muskogee Roughers requires commitment of great players and coaches, Lesher Millsap Funeral Home takes pride in providing great value and commitment every day with a tradition of service to the families of the Muskogee area. Just like in football, tradition must be earned on every play, every day, not just in the final score. And that's why you can trust Lesher Millsap Funeral Home to be there for you when it counts the most. Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, proud to be part of the Muskogee tradition of excellence. Respectable crowd of green and white clad Rougher fans making the journey over. Nick, also want to say thank you to you for some educated driving advice. I think your bus driving skills have carried over to our Rougher TV crew, and you avoided all the highway construction here on Interstate 40 and got us here flawlessly. 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. Beasley in motion. High snap. It deflects and goes into the hand of Beasley, who pulls it out of midair. He keeps the ball. Then he fumbles it again. And after 3 greasy pig losses, the Roughers finally fall on top of the football. And the guy that seemed to be alert at the right moment was Caleb Houston. That play was a comedy of errors, yeah.
I guess you give the run to Beasley.
You do.
Sure.
Downfield to what will be the 28.
4 yards?
Yeah, from the 32 to the 28.
Bizarre.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need a stroke of good luck, and the Roughers would like to finish this drive. They started way back at the 10:40 mark at their own 20. Converted 2 fourth down and a long 3rd down. Now Ficklin, straight drop back. Time to throw. Looking to go to the flag. McGee is out there. The ball is deflected away.
Well, yeah, McGee wants a flag.
He should have gotten one. McGee matched up one-on-one with Tobias Brady. But the incomplete pass will leave a 3rd down and 6.
Defender had his hands kind of pushed off on McGee there at the end.
So now on a 3rd and 6, needed to reach the 22. The ball just inside the left hash mark. As ball will be made ready for play. Ficklin with a long study over to Chris Reisenhuber for the play call. Go back and correct ourselves, Nick. That was not McGee a moment ago. That was E.J. James, the targeted receiver. So now Twins left, trips right, throw the ball on the underneath route, caught. This is Javon Washington, 25, with a big blocker in front, 20, 15, at the 10. Big fella carrying the mail all the way near the goal line. They're going to say stepped out of bounds at the 2. But, man, what a bullish type runner, Javon Washington, the tight end with the catch. And a big block out there again from Caleb Houston, taking it all the way to the 2-yard line.
26 yards. Washington moved in last spring, actually, from Midway, and has worked his way into the starting lineup. Yep.
So now the Roughers will go with a 2 tight end formation. Johnson off the right shoulder of Ficklin. 1st and goal to go. Berg going to take the snap, give it off to LJ. He'll slip a shoulder, slip a tackle, and go off the block up front from Braden Henry and into the end zone for the touchdown. Roughers go 80 yards the hard way.
Well, I guess. Man.
But Johnson able to put 6 points on the scoreboard on the 2-yard run. 5:55 left to go here in quarter number 2. That drive took up almost 5 minutes.
80 yards and 12 plays by my count.
4 minutes and 45 seconds time of possession. 12-play drive, getting the 3rd 6 points tonight. Soto Morales to try to make the chip shot good, and it is. Trip 5's on the scoreboard. Roughers have their 3rd tally of the night. They lead the Putnam City Pirates by a score of 21-0. Back with more Rougher football in 30 seconds. This is Muskogee Roughers football 2023.
The world of education is driven by numbers. So is the one company more schools and universities call on when fire or water damage strikes. 1-800-SERVPRO. The #1 choice in commercial cleanup and restoration.
When it matters most. The name to remember? ServPro of Muskogee. 918-913-4490. Online at servpro.com. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and the Ruffers in that 12-play possession had a mixed bag of luck go their way, including a high snap that was deflected, then fumbled, then picked up, then fumbled again before finally being secured by Caleb Houston. And then they get a bullish type run off a little screen, bubble screen to Javon Washington of 26 yards to set up LJ Latavian Johnson for the rushing touchdown. 21-0 Muskogee. From football this season brought to you in part by Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, by Bravado Wireless and the Power Connection, Pioneer Abstract, and Runts Barbecue, the home of the Tuesday night Rougher Football Coaches Show. Espinosa, after the referee's whistle sounds, chops it up into the night lights. Pirates will field it at the 23, try to get over to the edge and run out of bounds.
Just around the 30, it looks like they'll spot it.
Put it right at the 30-yard line. Muskogee scored on its first and third possessions, and then here in the second quarter on their only series to this point, and lead it by a count of 21-0. 5:51 to go before halftime as the Pirates will get it back. We'll take a look at scores, stats, and moments with Dr. M. Jared Mendenhall will be our guest at the break. Kiefer going to give it off to Batty, trying to dart outside, breaks a tackle, 35 and out near the 40-yard line goes Tobias Batty. But again, one of the big linemen down for PC. Might be the same guy that was hobbled a bit earlier.
11-yard gain by Batty out to the 41.
Good enough for a Putnam City 1st and 10.
13 carries for 56 yards for Tobias Batty.
And with the recent success running the football on the part of Putnam City, Nick, it makes you a little squeamish when you start thinking about what the Ruffers might see next Friday night when they entertain Carl Albert, who has a locomotive running game. Snap back, hand the ball again to Batty, trying to find a crease, slips through the first contact and wiggles his way upfield from the 41 to the 47. But again, there is a piece of yellow laundry on the field.
Thrown right toward the end of the play.
I think that might have been an illegal motion because there were two men in motion at the same time. Actually, they're going to call a holding call against Putnam City. And an offsides call as well.
So they'll mark it back to the 33. 8 yards they mark off there.
And the Pirates will have a replay of first down.
That's their 5th penalty tonight.
Kiefer with 2 receivers split to either side, motion out of the backfield. Actually a late exit off the field by one of the members of the offense. Kiefer will take the snap, wait in the pocket, being flushed, now going to run, looking to get to the edge. Ruffers close quickly, and then again comes...
And Tim Moore just plows him.
He does not hesitate from contact.
That's a generous spot up to the 43.
To the 37.
Or 37, excuse me. So 4 yards.
Tim Moore, he doesn't just shoulder tackle you, Nick. He brings the punch on the contact and then drives you into the turf.
Yep.
2nd down for the Pirates, have to go across the 50 for the first down. Now an empty backfield. Keeper's going to set up, try to look in the flat, throw back to the near side, trying to come to the back, coming out of the backfield, which was Ladarian Scholes.
Did a nice job as far as the deception on the play. Scholes was wide open out there.
So incomplete pass as the clock shows 4 minutes and 28 seconds left.
I think we have an official timeout here for a water break, maybe.
So with a weather break here, we'll do the same. We'll pause 30 seconds and remind you next Friday night, be on hand at Ruffer Village for the scheduled 7 p.m. kickoff when Muskogee will entertain Midwest City Carl Albert. But until we return, let's pause 30 seconds with the Ruffers on top, 21-0 on Ruffer Football 2023. Proud to be a Muskogee Ruffer, Honda of Muskogee.
In the heart of Oklahoma, with Honda of Muskogee.
Our super friendly staff is here to give you the best value with honest and fair service. Call 918-68-HONDA or go to HondaMuskogee.com.
In the heart of Oklahoma, with Honda of Muskogee.
Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton with you tonight from Putnam City on the officials' safety timeout. You know, Nick, growing up, my parents, they rarely let me take a piece of chocolate into the car. They typically knew it'd end up in that behind the back seat. And with the sunshine, what happens to the chocolate? It melts, it gets on Dad's car, and then I'm in a bit of a conundrum. I did the same thing with my own children. I'm sure you did the same. Well, brought a few pieces of chocolate into the broadcast booth, and
I bet they're melted.
to say they're just a little bit on the mushy side would be a generous understatement. 4 minutes, 28 seconds to go before halftime. Muskogee Ruffers with a 21-0 advantage, albeit a sloppy performance in execution on a consistent basis. Ruffer defense has bent but not break, but also have been gifted of sorts by some special team errors on the part of the Putnam City Pirates.
Long time out here. Gracious.
Referee will go across and alert both sides that we're just about ready to return to action. Also, Nick, it would be appropriate for you and I to say a huge thank you to Shane Stewart, to Shane Sanderson, and to all the students that participate in Ruffer TV for their consistent approach and never give up situation, because we were having some technical challenges on broadcast facilities when we arrived here in Putnam City. Shane, and the kiddos did a great job, and we were able to get on the air in time for kickoffs. Thanks to everyone for making it possible. Thanks to you for listening. Back to action on a 3rd down and 14. Kiefer on a high snap, play action, throw the underneath bubble screen. Caught and ankle tackled. Elijah Asbury making the reception. But Nick, he got absolutely nothing. Actually lost a yard. Back to the 37. So it'll be a punting situation, but a good effort that time by the Ruffer defense, who were ready and waiting for that little slip screen out on the far side.
Just the second completion of the night for Kiefer on 9 attempts. Running game's been much more productive for them.
So the Ruffers' Dion Bowler will be waiting back around the Muskogee 35-yard line as Carlos Yanez will come aboard to punt. Snap is back. Ruffers peel back, and Bowler will settle under it at the 30. Juka tackler at the 35, trying to find blockers at the 40, coming up to the 45-yard line before he'll be dragged down from behind. Making the stop for Putnam City that time was Dom Williams.
Nice
12-yard return.
Nice effort by Bowler to feel that and then avoid the double-team tackle that was coming his way and get some return yardage out of it.
So with 3:24 left to go before intermission, see if the Ruffers can put another 6 points on the scoreboard before the intermission break.
Starting at their own 45. Let's see what the offensive strategy will be here for Travis Hill.
Washington, Beasley, and McGee to the right. Jamie Beasley in a slot wide right. No counter handoff. Bring the reverse back to Andre Beasley. Trying to find blockers. Oh, he got one. 50, 45, has a wall in front. 35, 30, 25, 20. Beasley with speed. Can he maintain his balance? He will. He'll dance to the end zone. Touchdown. Muskogee, 55 yards on the end-around run. Andre Beasley with blockers in front. And the downfield pursuit of the offensive line, and teammates able to give Beasley a crease, and that's all he needs, and it's a down dance of 55 yards and a J. Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee Rougher touchdown.
Nice run by Beasley. He got a couple of blocks, but he did a lot of that himself with his weaves and cuts, avoiding tacklers.
So now on to try to stay perfect on the year. Richard Soto Morales hammers through the PAT. And with 3 minutes and 10 seconds left to go here in quarter number 2, Muskogee has now scored 4 times and lead it 28-0. We're back in 30 seconds on Rougher Football 2023.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton with you from Putnam City Pirate Stadium. Just to the immediate east of the high school facilities here on the Putnam City campus. Andre Beasley with another one of those big play moments. This one on a 55-yard end around. Once he got to the corner, Nick, he had to do a little fancy footwork, but he got some nice downfield blocking as well.
74 yards in just 5 carries for Beasley tonight. And, of course, the touchdown.
Espinoza will be ready to put the ball on the tee for the ensuing kick. One step, swing it, and drive it deep. Pirates will go back, field this one at the 10, come to the right at the 15, 20, 25, and then crunching block by 2 of the Rougher special team members. Asbill on the return, you're going to get it out to the 25, and that's where PC will go to work. 3 minutes and 2 seconds left. It has been, to say the least, somewhat a long first half. Penalties aplenty on both sides. I think 5 for each team so far.
Muskogee has 7.
So 12 flags all in all that force replay of downs. Kiefer with motion in front of him. Will wait, turn, hand it off to
Scholes.
Scholes trying to get to the corner, and coming up quickly to finish this one was Dion Bowler. The safety saw it coming, and Nick, he never hesitated, and he splits upfield in a blink of an eye, stopping Scholes after a gain of just 1.
Nice defensive work by Bowler as he used his eyes well and his speed to come up from the safety spot and make the tackle.
Second down and 9 after the 1-yard pickup. Single receiver way out to the right. Move the tight end over for an extra blocking back. Bootleg effort by Kiefer. Looking to run or throw. Going to dump this off in space and kind of short arms his release. Trying to throw it in the vicinity of Thomas Stone. But you get the idea, Roughers can put a lot of heat in the face of the quarterback Kiefer, and he's going to get rid of it to the nearest orange-colored jersey.
Anthony Watson's been chasing him all night long back there. Again, he got in his face and made him get rid of the ball.
So now second down, or make it third down and 9, as the Pirates have to reach the 35. Wideouts left and right. Slot back will line up just to the left of the quarterback. Scholes, the running back, will be off the right shoulder. High snap, give it off to Scholes, going right. Ruppers turn it upside down. As this time for Muskogee making the stop was Anthony White.
And timeout called by the Roughers.
They'll do so to try and preserve the clock and look for one more chance to add yet another score. Gain went from the 26 to the 34. It'll be 4th down and 5 when we return. Pause 30 seconds. Ruffers up 28-0 over the Putnam City Pirates. Back in 30 seconds on Ruffer Football 2023.
Jay Hodge here with Rick, a man of few words. Wow! That's one of them. And when you see the savings at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee, tell him, Rick. Wow! New Silverados, 1.9% financing or $5,600 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Don't overpay. Come see Jay.
New Silverados, 1.9% financing.
Wow!
Now at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee,
144 West Shawnee.
Madison Grayson at the production controls tonight from the Muskogee Ruffers. Our camera person, Bree Gialetti. Two well-experienced members of our Ruffer TV crew giving you the sights of tonight's game. Nick and I will try to match their talents with our play-by-play call. Yanez will stand inside the 20 to wait the snap. One step. A driving, spiraling kick, forcing Bowler back to the 37, coming to his left, trying to find a wall of blockers. Can he get there? No, yeah, he'll turn the corner. But again, there's laundry a couple of different places.
Bad block on one of them at least.
Two pieces of yellow laundry on the turf, now a third.
May all be for the same thing. I think there was a block in the back there.
And one of the trailing officials throwing a flag at the feet of one of the Pirates as well after the play was done. So we'll let our five-member officiating crew sort this all out.
Yeah, let's see. Big discussion here.
Ruffers have backed up thinking there's going to be a illegal block.
The play was dead around midfield somewhere. They haven't marked it exactly yet.
Official standing at the 48-yard line away from us. So they're looking over to the Putnam City sideline as to just say, what do you want to do? We'll just wait and let the Whitehead tell us what they've discussed down on the field. Glad to have our longtime buddy Grant Merrill following us on Ruffer TV. Hope you're enjoying our call at tonight's game. We come over and explain the situation to Willis Alexander.
Some of the confusion may be that one of the two of the flags were in live action and maybe one was a dead ball. We'll see.
We'll see how this one will all pair out when it's said and done. Officiating crew has been very
busy.
I guess that'd be the best way to say it. Because not only have they thrown the flags for infractions, Nick, but then they've had to do a lot of
explaining.
Yeah, that might be the politically correct way to mention that.
Like right now, we're having this long discussion with Willis Alexander.
Alexander trying to change the future of Putnam City Pirate football, although I would say that last year at 4-7, the best record the Pirates had in a few seasons under then Carter Whitson, who moved over to take over the Edmond North campaign. Nick, got any scores we can update?
Yeah, we'll find some here. Yeah, we can do
See
that.
if we can, while this discussion goes down on the field, we'll.
U.S. Grant ahead of Northwest Classen at halftime, 20-0.
Go Generals.
That's got to be.
Owasso shutting out the Jinx Trojans tonight, 21-0.
Wow. Enid ahead of Ponca City, the guys we played Enid last week, 16-7.
Mustangs shutting out now 28-6 at halftime over Southmore. Broken Arrow still leading Union 17-14. So I think when this is all said and done, Nick, we're going to replay the punt. With all the back and forth.
Have we had any signals yet?
Well, if we did, I missed them. But they went over and told Travis, it's the Serpro play. It's like it never happened. Serpro Muskogee, when you have disaster strike, the first and only name you need to remember is Serpro Muskogee.
That's what they're going to do is replay it. So Yanez will go back to punt again. I'll tell you what, he doesn't have great form, but boy, he's got a strong leg and gets the punt away. Gets good yardage on it.
Moore leading Edmond North 17-14. Deer Creek in front of Edmond Memorial 10-7. So it'll be 4th and 5 again. Boulder waiting back around the 40. One step, high towering kick that Boulder will just get out of the way of it. It'll take a PC bounce and tumble end over end inside the 25 and to a stop at the 19-yard line.
51-yard punt.
Very strong and a high towering kick, Nick. That allows your men to get downfield and take away returns.
You don't see one-step kickers usually get that much oomph on the ball.
Carlos Yanez, a 6', 225-pound senior.
Well, this kind of upsets the Ruffers' strategy of calling timeout. Moves them way back. They've got a minute 44 to try and move about 80 yards here.
So Johnson off the right shoulder of Ficklin. Takes the numbers high snap. Straight drop back. Waiting, dancing around. Trying to find an avenue of release. Throwing upfield. Open space. Caught out on the edge. 35, 40, 45 coming across behind the blocker and able
Swanson.
to get free of Swanson. He's going to take this one to the house.
Wow. 81 yards.
But some great downfield blocking, and also Swanson doing a great job of picking up his blockers in that downfield run.
And Bird doing a good job of scrambling around to get him time to get open.
And that left-handed release found Swanson over on the left boundary, made the catch, angled across the field, and lo and behold, the Ruffers one play, 81 yards for their 5th score of the opening 2 quarters of play.
Wow.
That might be our play of the night.
That puts Bird over 200 yards, even though he hasn't had a great percentage-wise night tonight.
So now on to try to remain perfect on the year and 5 for 5 on the night. Richard Soto Morales, the ball down, a little chip shot kick that is up, and this one is good. 1:23 before intermission. And you wonder how much wind that took out of the sail of the Putnam City Pirates, or how it energized the Muskogee Ruffers. 35-0 Muskogee. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching and listening to Ruffer Football 2023.
There's really only one explanation for businesses who continue to thrive for decades on end, and that's a people-first mentality. Bravado employees live within our existing coverage area just like you. Our kids go to the same schools and play in the same leagues as yours. That's why so much of who we are consists of giving back to our communities, because your community is also our community. We are your family, your neighbors, and your leader in wireless mobility. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Caden McGee goes by the nickname of Big Play McGee. Nick, be it not for the big plays tonight, we might have an entirely different ball game because the consistent offensive performance has waned at times, but a 17-yard run by Ficklin for the first score, a 4th down completion for the touchdown from 37 yards out to McGee for the second. Javon Washington's 26-yard bubble screen set up the 2-yard touchdown run. And now Beasley with a 55-yard gallop, and then Swanson on an 81-yard pass and run play. Espinosa with the deep kick fielded by the Pirates, trying to find a friendly group of blockers, getting down shy of the 28-yard line. That'll stop the clock with 1:10 to play here before halftime. You live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Well,
that's all I'm saying.
Kind of looking over here quickly, I don't think the Ruffers have had a series that has gone, a scoring series that has gone more than 5 or 6 plays, other than that one drive, that 80-yard drive in 12 plays. Everything else has been 5, 6, or 1 play for scores.
Now the first one was 5 plays. The second one was 6. You mentioned that 12-play drive that went 80 yards. That had all kinds of unusual situations. Pirates on first down. Handoff goes off tackle right, and the gain will be upfield for about a 2-yard pickup.
So it looks like Willis Alexander is going to say, let's go to the locker room and talk this over. Scholes, the ball carrier, 5 carries for 14 yards for him tonight.
2 back-to-back one-play drives, one of 55, one of 81. 40 seconds in this play will be snapped or under.
Play clock not running. I don't know why.
Judd Kiefer putting motion in front of his face. He'll turn, hand it off to Scholes, coming right through a crease. Steps out of the first contact and gets up near the 37-yard line, and the clock will continue to run. So that'll be a 7-yard pickup. It'll be third and a yard needed for the Pirates. Now, do you run the risk?
No, they're just going to let the clock run out.
That's going to be the way the first half comes to a close. So Muskogee, perhaps not picture perfect in their performance, but certainly good enough to post a 35-0 halftime score. When we return, we'll come back with a quick recap of the opening 2 quarters of play. But don't forget, later on in the intermission break, Moments with Dr. M. Jared Mendenhall will have some updates on the ongoings in the Muskogee Public Schools. But first, this 60-second timeout on Rougher Football 2023.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Brunt's Barbecue serves up hand-rubbed, slow-cooked goodness. Anytime you're feeding a few hundred, hey, we're just tailgating with friends. Call the experts, Brunt's Barbecue. Ribs, brisket, burnt ends, mouth-watering hot link, and smoked chicken, where everything is made from scratch, from the barbecue sauce to the banana pudding. Give us a try, and you won't be disappointed. Brunt's Barbecue, 918-681-3900. Brunt's Barbecue, slow-cooked goodness in Muskogee.
Intermission tonight at Putnam City. Muskogee Ruffers posting a 35-0 shutout of the host Pirates. Muskogee scoring on its first series on a 47-yard drive, with Jamarian Ficklin wrapping it up on a 17-yard scamper. Ruffers unable to convert on their second possession, but on their third chance still in the first quarter, starting from the 49-yard line, a 6-play drive, finishing it out with a 35-yard touchdown pass from Jamarian Ficklin to Caden McGee on a 4th down completion to make it 14-0 with 1:49 to go before halftime. Putnam City would pick up 3 first downs in their next series, but give it over on downs to the Ruffers, who would start 1st and 10 from their 20. They would use 12 plays and just shy of 5 minutes on the time of possession to march the 80 yards. A 26-yard bubble screen from Ficklin to Siobhan Washington, putting the ball at the 2, where on the next play, Latavian Johnson danced in for the 2-yard score. It was 21-0. Ruffers would get it back 4 plays later, and on 1st and 10 from the 45, it would be Andre Beasley with a cross-country sprint, this one of 55 yards. Soto Morales toes through the PAT to make it 28-0. Pirate offense unable to move. They punt the ball away. The Ruffers start 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. And then a little swing route out and flat to Jaden Swanson. And coming upfield, picking up blockers, picking his way between would-be tacklers, able to go the length of the field, 81 yards for the score here at the half, 35-0. Nick, you've been busily adding up some statistics, and they are, like the scoreboard, heavily in favor of the Ruffers.
Ruffers in this first half, 18 rushes for 237 yards after kind of a slow start. 7 of 16 passing, again for Bird, even though it was the last probably 7 or 8 minutes of that second quarter where he got a lot of that. 7 of 16 for 229, so the Ruffers already with 466 yards in offense this evening. 7 penalties for 65 yards, and they've run 34 plays here in this first half. Beasley, the leading rusher, 5 carries for 74 yards, and Swanson, 2 catches for 89 yards. McGee, 3 for 83 yards. For the Putnam City Pirates, they rushed 22 times for 90 yards. They are 1 of 10 passing for 37, so 127 yards in offense for Putnam City. 5 flags for 48 yards, and they ran 32 plays in that first half, so fairly even as far as the number of plays. Batty, the leading ball carrier, 13 carries for 56 yards, although we didn't see a lot of him in the last 7 or 8 minutes of that half.
35-0, our halftime score. Each and every week on Rougher Football in 2023, we're going to give you, the listening and viewing audience, a chance to catch up with what's current inside the Muskogee Public Schools. And the guy that has his thumb on the pulse of Muskogee Public Schools is the number 1 rougher, Dr. M. Jared Mendenhall, Superintendent of Schools. We sat down in his office earlier this week. We'll find out what's going on in Muskogee Public Schools. Moments with Dr. M. That'll come your way in 3 minutes. We're at halftime here tonight at Putnam City. Ruffers comfortably in front, 35-0. Back with Dr. M after this 3-minute timeout of Rougher Football 2023.
I'm Kyle Edwards for Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and the all-new Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota. With the addition of Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Shakota and Buick GMC in Muskogee, it now gives our customers a great lineup of new makes and models to choose from. We are very proud to bring you a buying experience you won't find anywhere else. If you haven't visited us yet, come give us a chance. You'll like what you see. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. From setback to comeback, the name you can trust, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael E. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com. There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com.
Tradition. It's a word that means a lot. Just as the tradition of the Muskogee Ruffers requires commitment of great players and coaches, Lesher Millsap Funeral Home takes pride in providing great value and commitment every day with a tradition of service to the families of the Muskogee area. Just like in football, tradition must be earned on every play, every day, not just in the final score. And that's why you can trust Lesher Millsap Funeral Home to be there for you when it counts the most. Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, proud to be part of the Muskogee tradition of excellence.
The world of education is driven by numbers. So is the one company more schools and universities call on when fire or water damage strikes. 1-800-SERVPRO. The #1 choice in commercial cleanup and restoration.
When it matters most. The name to remember? ServPro of Muskogee. 918-913-4490. Online at servpro.com. Welcome back on Rougher TV, Muskogee Rougher Football. Here at halftime, we're going to go into the offices of the superintendent, Dr. Jared Mendenhall. We're going to call this halftime segment each week Moments with Dr. M. And there are a lot of exciting moments with Muskogee Public Schools.
There's always a great things happening here. I tell you, we just got started with school, and we've had a great start of the school year. It's always one of those things that you don't know until you go to that first day. How are things going to go? And I'll tell you, we've had a few hiccups. One of the first things is that we didn't think we were going to have triple-digit heat
yes.
day after day after day. So once you put people inside those rooms and start getting staff and all of your students in there, you don't realize some of those HVAC units don't work. And so we've had to come back and really make sure that each one of our units are up to speed and ready to go, but I don't think they were designed to handle 105, 110 degree heat. So that was really our biggest hiccup. Of course, we've kind of gotten into the swing of things. We're in our second week now, so we're excited about the school year.
Dr. Mendenhall, obviously there is a lot of attention being given to on-campus safety and security with the recent happenings at sporting events. Talk a little bit about that and the plans that are being implemented with Muskogee.
You know, one of the things that happened this last weekend was our first really, I guess it would be called 0 week. I think everybody played this week, and we had a game at our place, went really well. Of course, you know, when you win, it always goes well.
Absolutely.
So, no, they had an incident at Choctaw High School. Choctaw was playing Dell City the first game. And then also Booker T. Washington also had an incident at their campus as well. So because of those incidents, we've had a lot of conversation internally about what the right answer is. And there's no good answer for safety and security. Anytime you're going to get 5,000 to 8,000 people in one area, and we're not really set up for that, I'll be honest. I mean, you know, we do education of students and building buildings and making sure that we have environments conducive to learning. But really, when you have these big, huge events, you've got to be able to be prepared for that. So one of the things that we're looking at is we have a survey out right now. We've actually surveyed our community. That will be open until Friday of this week, and then we'll make some decisions on what we want to do going forward. You know, you came in earlier today and you talked a little bit as we were setting up. You heard me in a meeting with a bunch of superintendents across the state. There were about 250 superintendents that do a Zoom call every week. And we talk about current events. We talk about the things that are going on in our state. The number one thing that we talked about was safety and security at ball games. You're seeing all kinds of changes and modifications to the procedures and what we do at games. So we're going to look at all of those. I've talked to a lot of colleagues, as I stated before. We're going to see kind of what we need to do because we want to make sure that we keep our fans safe, our kids safe, and really have a good environment.
One of the things that I enjoy about the opportunity of coming in and visiting with Dr. Mendenhall is to keep an ongoing, up-to-the-moment pulse on the status of Muskogee Public Schools. Like you said, the air conditioning, okay, it was a little hot when school started, but it was hard for everybody, including in your office. But certainly there is a lot of exciting things within the school system, the new buildings. The students are excited to be back in the classrooms along with their teachers.
You know, that's the thing that's always, I always think of a new year as wiping the slate clean. You get a brand new chance to start over. You get to push the restart button and start with a whole new clean slate, if you will. So it's been fun to watch, you know, the kids come in. I always think this time of year is refreshing for everybody. We've done a lot of work. You know, in the 2019 bond issue, every building has been modified or remodeled or completely torn down and rebuilt. So we've got a lot of things that we've done. What I'm proudest of is that every single facility right now has been really refreshed. It's really it's been touched, and so everybody's being able to benefit from really what our people in the community wanted, and that was to pass a bond issue and basically give money to every site so that every site has a refreshed look. So that's been kind of nice because this is the first year that everybody can really see an advantage of having either new carpet, new paint, new tile, new technology. Every single site has that now.
Well, it certainly makes each and every day a great day to be a Rougher. We're going to continue our conversations with Dr. Mendenhall each and every week at halftime here on Rougher TV. For Dr. Jerry Mendenhall, I'm Bill Huddleston, and tell them again, Coach.
It's always a great day to be a Rougher.
Absolutely. Proud to be a Muskogee Rougher, Honda of Muskogee.
In the heart of Oklahoma, with Honda of Muskogee.
Our super friendly staff is here to give you the best value with honest and fair service. Call 918-68-HONDA or go to HondaMuskogee.com.
In the heart of Oklahoma, with Honda of Muskogee.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
Jay Hodge here with Rick, a man of few words. Wow! That's one of them. And when you see the savings at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee, tell them, Rick. Wow! New Silverados, 1.9% financing or $5,600 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Don't overpay. Come see Jay.
New Silverados, 1.9% financing.
Wow!
Now at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee,
144 West Shawnee.
There's really only one explanation for businesses who continue to thrive for decades on end, and that's a people-first mentality. Bravado employees live within our existing coverage area just like you. Our kids go to the same schools and play in the same leagues as yours. That's why so much of who we are consists of giving back to our communities, because your community is also our community. We are your family, your neighbors, and your leader in wireless mobility. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Brunt's Barbecue serves up hand-rubbed, slow-cooked goodness. Anytime you're feeding a few hundred, hey, we're just tailgating with friends. Call the experts, Brunt's Barbecue. Ribs, brisket, burnt ends, mouth-watering hot link, and smoked chicken, where everything is made from scratch, from the barbecue sauce to the banana pudding. Give us a try, and you won't be disappointed. Brunt's Barbecue, 918-681-3900. Brunt's Barbecue, slow-cooked goodness in Muskogee.
Order by itself for $6. Large fry is $5. Or you get a bottle of water from Eastern Baseball Boosters for $2.
Welcome back on Rufford TV at halftime. Muskogee Ruffers 35 and the Putnam City Pirates nothing. Always good to know the latest news inside the district. And Dr. Jared Mendenhall making sure that all of the parents and family members of Muskogee Public School students, as well as those faculty members, being up to date with the latest news, and we'll try to share that with you here on Rufford TV each and every week. You know, Nick, we were watching the halftime performance of the Putnam City Band, and you and I had a little bit of a chat. I just was curious, and maybe the question should go to Mike Cisco, and I don't think they march in straight lines anymore down the field, up and down the field like they did in the Jerry Huffer days. But my question, Mike Cisco, is, and you can text me an answer, do the bands today still march 8 to 5? Now, that's not 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Nick.
Oh,
that's
okay.
8 steps for every 5 yards.
Oh, okay.
And you maintain a straight line while you're doing that, or you're at an angle of 45 degrees or something like that. But, Mike Cisco, can you tell me? You've got my number. Text me. Is it 8 to 5? Right now, we know the score is 35 to nothing, Muskogee Ruffers, and that's just a few of the scores. Union has rallied to take the lead over Broken Arrow 20 to 17. Enid, last week's victim of the Ruffers, leading Ponca City 16 to 7. Nick, one score. Not really surprised as to who's in front, but the fact that Owasso has shut out Jinx in the first half, 21 to nothing. But this may strike a little fear in your bones. Carl Albert at half, leading Midwest City 40 to nothing.
Oh, and we get to see them next week. Yay for us. All right.
Tahlequah leading Sapulpa 28 to 20. Wagner having no problems with their county rival Coweta 28 to 7. Hilldale at home for the first time in 2023, leading Edison 14-7. Gore trying to get back on the winning track after losing in last year's state finale for the A title. They lead Keys 22 to 7, and Shakota trailing Sequoia Claremore 27 to 21. Our halftime score, Muskogee Ruffers leading Putnam City 35-0. Ruffers will have the football to begin the third quarter when we return. But first, this 60-second timeout. You're watching and listening to Ruffer Football 2023.
I'm Kyle Edwards for Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and the all-new Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota. With the addition of Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Shakota and Buick GMC in Muskogee, it now gives our customers a great lineup of new makes and models to choose from. We are very proud to bring you a buying experience you won't find anywhere else. If you haven't visited us yet, come give us a chance. You'll like what you see. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. From setback to comeback, the name you can trust, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
$35-0 Muskogee Ruffers in front. They've just put a few more minutes up on the scoreboard to allow teams to get properly stretched and warmed up for this final 2 quarters of play. Nick, Muskogee comes out here with some high energy on the first series and puts one more on the board. I have to think you might see a little bit more of the twos, kind of some rest and protection from injury of those starters.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Because next Friday night, it's not going to be anything like this, I hope. At least if I do, I hope it's the Ruffers on top of the scoreboard, because Putnam City is no comparison to next week's foe, Carl Albert.
And, of course, Carl Albert's a great team. They've played. It was a tough game last year for the Ruffers. But Muskogee tonight, again, I don't think Travis Hill's going to be, he's going to be glad to get the victory, but not quite the consistency. That's the thing he talked about this week. And, again, tonight the Ruffers have really been dependent upon the big play. They've had one drive that has gone more than 6 plays, I think, for scores tonight. So they haven't really pounded the ball, but then you got to take a look at it and say, well, they've scored on them big plays. If you score, you score, I guess, and yeah, that's true. But against teams like Carl Albert and folks like that, you're going to have to grind it out, because chances are you're not going to be able to get those big plays like you've got in the last couple of weeks.
Cornerstone Funeral Home, along with J. Hodge Chevrolet. Buffalo Wild Wings, who presents our Ruffer Player of the Game each and every broadcast. Excel Physical Therapy, along with Serpro Muskogee and Century 21 First Choice Realty and broker agent Monica Medley. Proud to be a part of Ruffer Football 2023. Muskogee Ruffers with some big plays. One, what was that, a 12-play drive?
12-play drive, yeah, 80 yards.
With some heroics on single plays to create short positions, and like we said, the Ruffers scored on 5 of 6 possessions in the opening 2 quarters of play and lead it by the score of 35-0, and will have the football for the first time here in the third quarter.
Another area that may have be some concern, and I'll be interested to talk to Travis this week about that, is that the Ruffer defense has not really put a lot of pressure. They haven't sacked. I think they've sacked the quarterback one time so far tonight. Now, they have had some pressure in his face, but against a team like Putnam City, you would think that the dominating Ruffer defense front would have been able to get to him a little bit more. So I don't know if that'll be an area of concern or not. We'll see.
Also give another tip of the hat to our Ruffer TV crew, led by Shane Stewart and Shane Sanderson, but the real workers are the students, and they do an outstanding job. We're so fortunate to have these committed young people, camera operators Emily Orozco and Cammie White, Bree Gialetti and Madison Grayson sharing the production there on the switcher to give you all the different looks of tonight's ball game. But Muskogee Public Schools has so many things to offer its students, and the TV program is just part of that. Shane Sanderson in charge of that program, and Shane Stewart, of course, who got everything off the ground with Ruffer TV back in the day, Nick. He was here, and he was not going to let any of these electrical goblins get in our way of a broadcast here tonight. We're so thankful to have Shane, and all the kiddos to do the outstanding job.
Yeah, they've done a fine job tonight, absolutely.
So Putnam City will kick off. Ruffers will be set to return. We'll see what kind of kick Carlos Yanez will put up.
Actually, I think we've got Evan Matoyer who is actually going to kick off, it looks like. Maybe
switch it up.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So as the whistle sounds, we're ready for the start of the third quarter. We're glad you're aboard watching on live stream, Ruffer TV, or on radio at 101.7 KTFX. Driving kick. Ruffers will pick it up finally after a touch, trying to find blockers, trying to find a way to elude tacklers and dance around and not really get much back at the 15-yard line. It's on the return that time was Kenyon Goodson.
So we're already seeing some of the seconds in there. Goodson returning in place of Beasley and some of those guys. See how the Ruffers do here, 1st and 10 from their 16.
11 minutes and 50 seconds to go here in quarter number 3. Jamarian Ficklin will bring his offense to the field. The Nick in the first half had how many total yards offense?
433, I think it was. 466 in offense.
So 2 receivers to the short side left. Running back Johnson off the right shoulder of Bird. Handed off to Johnson, carving to his left at the 20, across the 20 and out to near the 25. But out of the back judge pocket comes a flag, and 99.99 chances out of 100, Nick, it's going to be holding, and that's going to be the call here.
Oh, that's the 8th penalty against the Ruffers. Let's see if I can. 1, 2, 3.
I don't have that many
4,
fingers
5,
and toes.
6, 7 of those 8 penalties have been holding calls.
So this will be half the distance as the ball was inside the 20 at the start of play. So it'll move it back to the 8-yard line. Muskogee tonight comfortably in front, but next week will be more of a true challenge, because the top-rated Titans of Midwest City, Carl Albert, will come to Ruffer Village looking to settle a score from last year, Nick. Ruffers were the last team to beat Carl Albert before they went on to win the 5A state title for the 7th time in 8 years. Ficklin this time on the exchange, missing the handoff to Johnson, and then able to ride it out to the edge and maybe get 2.
Being around the 10 or 11. Yeah, just kind of a messed up play there. He never got the ball in the hands of Beasley and ended up having to take it himself and get 2 yards from the 9 up to the 11.
So the Muskogee Ruffers opening the third quarter play on your screen, going from right to left. Ruffers in the all-white uniforms, green numerals, green helmets. Pirates in the home orange. And I'm so glad they have those big white numbers on their jerseys.
Yeah.
Johnson this time to the left of Ficklin. He'll roll to his left. Looking downfield, throws the underneath route, sliding effort beyond the sticks. Good effort that time by Andre Beasley. Sliding right at the first down stick, knew exactly where he had to go.
Just a square out pattern that time by Beasley, down and out, right at the marker. And
16 yards on the pass play, and the Kyle Edwards Buick GMC Ruffer first down and 10. Opening the third quarter play with a 35-0 advantage. Last night, Tulsa, Washington, a district foe for the Ruffers later on this year, got hammered by Del City 48-0. Kind of the full house backfield this time. Ficklin will give it off to Latavian Johnson, and there was penetration from the snap as Trip Alexander got in there, the 6-foot, 230-pound sophomore, stopping Johnson after a 2-yard loss back from the 28 to the 26. You say Alexander, and yes, Nick, that is the youngest son of Putnam City coach Willis Alexander. I asked him earlier today, did anybody move over from PC West when you came here? And he said, nope. Oh, wait a minute. Yep, one did. That's my boy. 30, 35, and across the 35, breaking another tackle is Beasley. Still on his feet, refusing to go down. That's going to be a face mask tackle.
Yeah.
As Beasley was being wrapped up right at the sticks at about the 38. So the pass and run would be for 12 yards, and then they'll tack more than likely 15 onto that one. Face mask is the call, personal foul variety. And the 15-yard walk-off will be added on to the end of the play. So 12 on the pass play, plus the 15, gives Muskogee a Kyle Edwards Buick GMC rougher first down at 10.
That'll move the ball into Putnam City territory at the 47. So big play there, big play and big penalty results in about 26, 27 yards altogether.
Pretty easy to find Big Wes Harvey out there, left tackle in it, 6'8". Snap goes back to Ficklin, handed off to Johnson, trying to find a crease. Straight ahead on the effort, inside the 45 and down to near the 42-yard line. 5-yard pickup.
Johnson just hammers away. 7 carries for 40 yards tonight for Johnson. A little mighty might ball carrier.
Some coaches refer to their offensive linemen as the big uglies. Well, I don't know how the mamas take somebody calling their kid ugly, but big is true for the Ruffers. 265 in Tion Brewer, 293 in Vernon Pepiakata, 260 in Braden Henry. Caleb Houston tipping the scales at 300 and Wes Harvey at 285. 2nd and 4, handoff to Johnson, straight ahead, lowers his head and rams into a would-be tackler. The ball came free, but it was after the whistle had sounded, as Johnson's going to take this from the 42 all the way to the 32, and another Kyle Edwards Buick GMC rougher, first down at 10.
10 yards more for Johnson. And the Ruffers with their second most sustained drive of the night tonight.
This one began back at the 16 and actually
started actually at the 9 after the penalty.
Exactly. Trying to go the length of the field by whatever means may be necessary.
Be the 7th play of the drive now for the Ruffers.
Jamie Beasley will be the single receiver to the far side right. Watson and Andre Beasley to left. Handed off to Johnson, stopping as he started left and changing directions and got back to the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Nothing there for Latavian that time. Went to the well maybe one too many times with the running back. 4 straight.
Hunter Lanier was on the field on that last play on the offensive line for the Ruffers. He'll go out. Johnson goes out as well. We'll see who'll come back in as the extra player here on a 2nd and 10. Jamie Beasley to the wide side right. Ficklin out of the gun. Play action pass. Waits, throws deep. Beasley's there, but it's overthrown.
Boy, he just almost was able to bring that down.
Israel Martin was in as the running back on that play. Incomplete pass. 3rd down for Muskogee. First time they've gone to 3rd down in this series, Nick. This will be the 8th play in this series. Ruffers must reach the 22 to go ahead of the chains. Caden McKee will be the single receiver to the short side boundary as the ball rests on the right hash mark. Trips come to the left side. Ficklin with Martin to his right. 3-step drop, set up, step up in the pocket. Roll to his right, sling a pass in the area. Caught by Jaden Swanson. Again, a penalty flag down.
Holding against the Ruffers. There's 2 of them back there.
There's 2 back in the backfield, but there's also 1 down near the point of the tackle. So we'll see, could these possibly be penalties both ways?
Could be.
Travis Hill having a friendly little one-on-one chat with Big Wesley Harvey. Referee will indicate holding against the Ruffers. Apparently, the second penalty.
Sideline warning.
Sideline warning against Putnam City. Okay, good. Not so good for the holding call.
Not so good for the Ruffers, yeah, right.
Because they'll move the football back from the preceding spot. Why is the down marker moving before the official instructs him to? It was 3rd and 10 at the 32, so they'll put it back out at the 42, and the Ruffers will have a retry on 3rd down and needing to reach 20 yards on this play to pick up the first down marker.
And, of course, they don't have to get it all here. The Roughers, with their explosive offense, could go for it on fourth if they get within maybe 10 or 12 yards here.
Andre and Caden will be wide to the right. That's McGee out on the side of the numbers, Beasley inside. Twins come to the near side left. Ficklin again back in the pocket. Looking for Washington, sets up, scrambles, throws at the last minute downfield. McGee coming off a defender with the catch of the 5. Big play, McGee again. Touchdown, Muskogee.
I'll tell you what, Jamarian, the bird, just hustles around, finds the open spot, buys time, and then McGee shakes off his defender, sees the ball coming short, breaks loose, comes and gets it. Wow.
Well, yes, Jamarian Ficklin dances around and found his receiver coming open. But give that offensive line a little bit of a pat on the back, too, Nick, because they allowed him time to stay in there. And then Ficklin, with his agility, able to scamper free. So now Soto Morales on to try one more time. A bad snap. This one is a punch shot that glangs off the upright, but through. Good. And the Roughers have extended their lead to 42-0 with 6:25 to play here in quarter number 3. Back in 30 seconds. This is Rougher Football 2023.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael E. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
9 plays on a drive that began at the Muskogee 16, and a third down extended play from Jamarian Ficklin to Caden McGee, the second touchdown reception for big play. And Jamarian Ficklin might want to challenge Caden McGee for that nickname, because the bird comes up with his own big plays, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
42-yard touchdown strike to make the score 42-0 with 6:25 to play here in the third quarter.
Long break here for getting the kick away.
Everybody huddled together and wait on the referee's whistle. There's actually one of the officials in talking with the special teams out on the field. Hope you're enjoying tonight's Rougher TV broadcast. Don't forget we have a weekly coaches show each and every Tuesday night. Live from Runts Barbecue, 6:30 to 7. Myself, along with head coach Travis Hill, a member of his staff, and one of the players. We invite you to come over to Runts Barbecue. They're on West Okmulgee Avenue, and join us. It's barbecue just a little bit better at Runts Barbecue. Espinosa to put the ball on the tee for the ensuing kickoff. Checks his alignment, one step, drives it deep. Pirates will bobble it around. It's loose and on the knee. The recovery back at what I think will be the 16-yard line.
16, yeah.
Pirates have had trouble, Nick, throughout the night on the kick returns.
Spot it right at the 15, so 1st and 10 for the Pirates there. Now trailing 42-0.
Third quarter action for Putnam City. Jug Kiefer, the quarterback. High snap, going to hand it off. And this again will be Scholes on the carry. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Not even sure he made it there. Yeah, just barely. No, he's going to lose a yard on the play back to the 14.
They're going to pick it up, put it back at the 14. See what kind of defensive adjustments the Roughers made at halftime against that running game of the Pirates that was virtually their only offense. So a loss of 1 on first down, 2nd and 11. Kiefer takes the snap, and there's motion up front. One of the offensive linemen moving in the trench, Randall Sisney, picking up his hand off the ground before the snap of the football. So it'll go from bad to worse for Putnam City. It'll be 2nd and 16.
Kind of wonder what's happened to Badley. We haven't seen him since fairly early in the second quarter. He was doing some damage there running early. He has 13 carries for 56 yards, so don't know if he's hurt or what.
2nd down and 16 for the Pirates. From the 9, have to go to the 25, and then flags again fly.
Too much time.
And procedure again.
Oh. So that gives 8 penalties now for the Pirates for 73 yards.
Don't forget, when you're looking for a good new or used vehicle, you can find a great deal with some of the low-rate financing available at J. Hodge Chevrolet. Just ask Jay. He'll find the right car for you at J. Hodge Chevrolet. 3rd down and 20 now. High snap, Kiefer handing it off to Scholes. Hit in the backfield, and he'll fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Getting back to the 5. Maybe getting a 1-yard pickup to make it 3rd down and 20. Clock just running now with 5:14 to play here in the 3rd. Ruffers, their first series went the length of the field, finishing with a big play, Ficklin to McGee, 42-yard strike to make it 42-0. Now 3rd and 20 for Putnam City from the shadow of their own goal line. Keeper checking with Scholes off his right shoulder. Snap comes back in the backfield, and the quarterback just throwing it away.
I'm not sure there was anybody there except a lineman.
And he got rocked by Anthony Watson, who came in untouched and put 2 hands to the chest plate of the Pirates quarterback. He threw it at the feet of a lineman. Incomplete. It'll be 4th down. Ruppers should get great field position here, Nick.
So they should. Looks like the play clocks have malfunctioned, or at least one of them.
Now there's a penalty flag thrown.
That's going to be grounding, I think, yeah.
Yep, they'll call it because it didn't get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and there wasn't a receiver around the area either.
So it carries with it an automatic loss of down. And half the distance to the goal line.
Which isn't very much for Putnam City. Only 2 yards.
But remember now, he threw it from in the end zone. So this, I think, will result in a safety.
Let's see. They're coming out to talk about it now.
I think that's what's going to be the call. It'll be a free kick off the safety. So put 2 more points up on the scoreboard for the Ruffers. The referee has not indicated as such. But that's going to be the call. The intentional grounding in the end zone will give Muskogee 2 more points on the scoreboard.
Well, everybody...
It's the only reason
you're the only one that seems to
it's the only reason you'd be having a free kick from the 20-yard line. Referee never indicated to the press box what was his call, or if he did, it was a very slight clasp of the hands. But with 4:17 to go, I'm sure my broadcast friends that might be viewing in on tonight's game could probably tell us for sure that that would be the proper interpretation of the rules.
Yeah, it would. You're right.
Grant Merrill, you probably know the answer to that one.
So Yanez is going to punt it from the 20-yard line.
And the Ruffers will get it right back. 44-0. High punt. Ruffers will field it at the 40, come right up the middle, midfield, 45, 40, this is McGee. 1 man to beat, no way Yanez will stop big play McGee. He will take it 60 yards on the free kick return. And the Ruffers have added yet 6 more to the Putnam City scoreboard and have put, in the words of Barry Switzer, half 100 on them.
Wow. No one even touched Beasley on that. He just went right up the middle and then out to the center, McGee. And just went out to the side. Wow.
50-yard punt return, or actually a
60-yard.
60-yard, yeah. 60-yard free kick return. And now Richard Soto Morales will come on to try what would be his 7th point after touchdown of the night. Ball bad.
Oopsie.
Mishandled snap. And that'll go as a failed conversion. So the scoreboard will remain Muskogee 50, Putnam City nothing. We're back to Putnam City Stadium after this 60-second timeout on Rougher TV.
There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com. There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com.
Tradition. It's a word that means a lot. Just as the tradition of the Muskogee Roughers requires commitment of great players and coaches, Lesher Millsap Funeral Home takes pride in providing great value and commitment every day with a tradition of service to the families of the Muskogee area. Just like in football, tradition must be earned on every play, every day, not just in the final score. And that's why you can trust Lesher Millsap Funeral Home to be there for you when it counts the most. Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, proud to be part of the Muskogee tradition of excellence. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton with you on Rougher TV. Nick, thanks to our viewers, they did actually catch the moment-by-moment signal from the officiating crew.
Briefly, it said, and it was briefly, I'm sure.
On the kick return, Pirates up to about the 32-yard line. This grounding in the end zone brings an automatic safety, which would add 2 points to the scoreboard. And then on the free kick by Giannis, Big Play McGee says, I'm going to hang one on the scoreboard by myself. And he put a 60-yard kick return, and the Roughers have put up a 50 spot and lead it 50-0 over the Putnam City Pirates.
Pirates will have it 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line. And we'll see now. I would think we might see a running clock from this point on, but we'll see.
Putnam City Pirates play in the other 6A2 district with Lawton, Choctaw, Ponca City, Capitol Hill, PC North, Northwest Classen, and Deer Creek. New quarterback now in for Putnam City. Snap back in good shape. And Scholes taking the handoff, as in at quarterback for Putnam City is Denham Friday. Gain goes from the 31 upfield to the 35. Scholes from the 4-yard gain.
So Scholes now 9 carries for just 25 yards.
Have to reach the 41-yard line as Friday will take the snap 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He'll counter. Nobody was there.
Somebody.
And a holding penalty goes down at the same time, too.
Bad play by the Pirates there.
One of the big guys for the Muskogee Roughers in on the pile that time was Connor Freeman.
Friday turned around. There was no one to give the ball to, and then one of his linemen held on top of that.
Well, it's not going to matter because the third and the ball was only at the 33, so they'd only given it, they moved the football.
Was it the 35?
I thought it was.
So they moved it back to the 33 and declined the penalty.
Okay, yeah, okay. Thank you. So a loss of 2 on that play. 3rd and 8 for the Pirates. Friday out of the gun with Scholes to his right. Will look left and right. Takes the high snap, hands it off to Scholes, going to the left side before the quick responding Rougher defense can get there. See a lot of fresh bodies out there right now from Muskogee, too, defensively.
Scholes gets 3, but it'll be punting time for the Pirates at this point, you would think.
Kyron Cope, one of the young men in for the Roughers on that last stop. Also out there for the Roughers at a linebacker stop, still Travion Houston. The gain goes to the 35.
I guess the play clocks are not functioning, so I guess they're keeping that down on the field, so we don't know how close they're getting.
Clock continuing to run now with 1 minute and 37 seconds left here in quarter number 3. And the Roughers with a huge advantage, 50-0. So the guy who's been the most effective all night long for Putnam City is the kicker, Giannis. He'll get a rolling snap back to him. He'll get this one away.
Wow.
So Roughers really had no pressure.
Still a pretty good kick after
really
all
good
that.
Kick. Yeah, absolutely. Dion Bowler flirting with the football, and I'm certain that might get him a warning from the special teams coach. But the ball will roll to a stop at the 38-yard line.
So it's a 28-yard punt, but given all the pressure, not bad. So the Roughers, let's see if we're going to have some changes now.
I got a sneaking suspicion we're going to see somebody new at the quarterback spot and more.
Koto Barnoski is the backup, and he's in. Is that? No, that's not him.
Still looking at the sideline, but there's a whole lot of fresh bodies out there. It will be. It's not Barnoski.
I don't think it is, no.
First and 10 from the 38-yard line. Hand the ball off straight ahead. This is Israel Martin dancing free. 45 midfield.
Penalty marker.
Flags go down. Quarterback for the Roughers now is Kenyon Goodson.
Okay.
You might say, well, why not Koto? Well, I'm sure he's done his work tonight defensively at that linebacker spot.
He's been playing linebacker, so that's part of it, yeah.
So the holding call will force a replay as the officials tonight will mark it off from the spot of the foul. It'll go back to the 30-yard line. So all in all, just an 8-yard loss. The play clock stops while they mark off the penalty.
10th penalty of the night against the Roughers.
That won't be in the area of consistent performance.
No, it won't, and that's been a nagging problem the last couple of years for Muskogee.
So on 1st and 18, snap is back. Roughers this time, quarterback going to keep it, 30, 35, spins up to the 36-yard line as on the keeper, Kenyon Goodson. Getting some Friday Night Lights action. He'll get back 6 of the yards lost on the penalty. And the clock, well, now there's a commercial up on the scoreboard, Nick. I guess the clock has expired here in quarter number 3. So after 3 quarters, the Roughers have hung half 100 and lead Putnam City by the score of 50-0. Back with the 4th quarter action after this 1-minute timeout on Rougher Football 2023.
The world of education is driven by numbers. So is the one company more schools and universities call on when fire or water damage strikes. 1-800-SERVPRO. The #1 choice in commercial cleanup and restoration.
When it matters most. The name to remember? ServPro of Muskogee. 918-913-4490. Online at servpro.com. Proud to be a Muskogee Rougher, Honda of Muskogee.
In the heart of Oklahoma, with Honda of Muskogee.
Our super friendly staff is here to give you the best value with honest and fair service. Call 918-68-HONDA or go to hondaofmuskogee.com.
Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton back with you. 2nd and 12 after Goodson's 6-yard scamper. He'll roll to his left with a blocker in front. That's Martin trying to get Goodson to the corner. And he'll be wrapped up and stopped at about the 39-yard line. A moment ago we were talking about, was there ever a signal? Well, count on the ever watchful eye of the Muskogee Transportation Department. And one of the fellow bus drivers, my broadcast partner, Nick Hampton, was he driving your bus today?
No.
No?
Not that.
Okay, all right. But took a snapshot of the screen and texted us the picture, and indeed there was the clasp hands for the safety call. So everybody watching tonight's game on Rougher TV, we're glad you're aboard after a 1-yard pickup by Goodson. 2 carries for 7 yards. 3rd down and 9 for the Roughers. Twin receivers are out to the right. Goodson, a little bubble screen and short arm the delivery. Trying to throw it over to Israel Martin. The ball falls incomplete. And that'll give Muskogee a need to punt the football. We've got into the running clock situation here in the 4th. And Jamarian Ficklin will come off the sideline. He'll do all the punting here. Back deep to return for the Putnam City Pirates will be Elijah Asbury.
Replacement in late for the Roughers.
Again, we don't know what the seconds are on the play clock, but Ficklin takes the snap, 2 steps, hangs this one up high in the night sky. Pirates don't signal for a fair catch. And finally they blow it dead after Goodson was right down there on the coverage.
Back about the 17, it looks like, is where they'll start.
So Putnam City will have it. Play clock, continuous motion now. 9:45 left to go here tonight in Putnam City.
Make your plans to be on hand next Friday night at Rougher Village. I would expect we will have maybe our first full house.
Certainly would expect that. Hopefully the temperatures won't be anywhere like they were last Friday night, but I don't think even with this matchup, Nick, the heat would keep you away.
No.
Not to a true football fan. Pirates will work with their seconds on the field as well. Handoff going to Scholes. He'll come straight up the middle out from the 18-yard line to the 27. Or 25, excuse me,
yeah.
a gain of 7.
Yeah.
And it'll be 2nd down and 3. Might even want to encourage you to go out during the week, Nick, and purchase reserve seats from the athletic office, or possibly be, if you ask nicely to Samantha and the crew there, LaQuisha, they might even hook you up with some general admission tickets. High snap again. Scholes will take the handoff. He'll come straight ahead, running into the defensive front of the Roughers, but the forward progress is going to be good enough to get to the 31-yard line. And that'll be 6-yard pickup and a Putnam City first down at the 31.
And gives Scholes now 41 yards on 12 carries.
Michael A. Finnerty, attorney at law, Buffalo Wild Wings, Excel Physical Therapy, along with Cornerstone Funeral Home and Nissan of Muskogee bring you Rougher football here this season. Scholes straight ahead, this time running into the open arms of the Rougher defensive lineman Ethan Lee. 6'5", tips the scales at 298 pounds. Just a junior.
Gain of 4 up to the 35.
2nd down and 6. Quarterback for the Pirates, Denham Friday, with Scholes right behind him. Snap goes back. Scholes will take the handoff, and he'll be hit and wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. This time the Rougher defensive crew had upfield pursuit, and it was Kyron Cope, the young sophomore. A good-looking kid, too, Nick. 6'2", 210 pounds.
Just a sophomore. That's good. Loss
Awesome.
of 2.
Yeah,
I'm
back
sorry,
to the 33-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and 8. But Willis Alexander led his young quarterback, freshman Denham Friday, throw the football in this situation?
I would not think so.
Scholes will line up behind Friday. He'll take the numbers high snap, pull it down, throw it out in space, and this one a little bit wide.
Oh, I was
incomplete.
Wrong. That's his first toss of the night.
Friday's pass intended across the turf for Stephen Matthews. So the incomplete pass brings up another 4th down, and the man who's been the busiest tonight all season long, or all night long for Putnam City, Carlos Yanez.
Clock moving down toward the 6-minute mark to play in the game.
Not sure I had the right emphasis on the right syllable, but nevertheless. And yes, I do. Mark Pearson doesn't know it is syllable, not syllable. But Carlos Yanez will be back to punt. Another good snap, one step, boom, and a launching kick that the Roughers just need to clear the turf. Pirates will catch it on the bounce, and Muskogee will get the ball in the vicinity of the 38-yard line. Don't forget, throughout the week, stop by our participating partners in Rougher Football 2023 and tell them you appreciate their contributions to making each and every week's games possible, whether that's Honda Muskogee or Century 21 First Choice Realty, Zabata Lawn and Tree Service, Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, David Cobb State Farm Insurance, My Place Barbecue West, some of the people that help to make each and every broadcast possible. First down handoff, Israel Martin getting the exchange and not wanting to go down. Izzy will fight forward for what might be a half yard to the 39. Let's see, where are they going to mark it?
Yeah, right at the 39.
Give him credit for one.
Give Izzy a yard, right.
You know, there's a young man that has just refused to lose, so to speak. Really like the attitude of the young man, and he continues to work to get better each and every day, even though he's got some talented guys in his same position. Izzy will line up this time to the left of the Rougher quarterback. The direct snap will go to Goodson. He'll follow Martin around the corner, across the 45, across midfield into Pirate territory. I'm going to say that the Rougher QB stepped on the boundary right at the 48-yard line. So that's 11 up and another 2 down. 13 yards the Bakers doesn't pick up on another Kyle Edwards Buick GMC. Rougher first down at 10.
So the Roughers moving the ball right on down the field, eating up the clock.
4:05 and counting in this running clock situation.
Goodson comes over to the sideline, gets the play, comes back in again.
Also now on the field out, Jacinio Miller, a young sophomore wide receiver. That's Goodson with Martin to his right, hands it off to Izzy. He'll slam straight ahead, up downfield to about the 45-yard line. So a net of 3 yards on the first down handoff.
Roughers are going to have a ton of yardage tonight when it's all said and done. They had 460 at halftime. They haven't had the ball all that much here in the second half, but when they've had it, they were productive on their first drive. The last couple have been the subs or seconds playing for the most part.
Be interesting to hear the viewpoints of Travis Hill after tonight's contest. 50-0 encounter. Goodson just waiting patiently. Takes the numbers high snap, gives it off to Martin, straight ahead. Izzy trying to get a little forward surge with a push in the back from one of his offensive linemen. He'll get down near the 40 to net 5 yards on the play, and the Roughers will have a 3rd down and 2 here. Willis Alexander, a year ago, the head coach at Putnam City West, when Carter Whitson departed for the Edmond school systems. They being Putnam City, brought Alexander to lead the Pirates football hopes. 3rd down and 2. Goodson on a rollout, coming near side, got a nice seal block, breaks the tackle, 35-30, 25-20, Goodson at the 10, the 5, no laundry, touchdown, Muskogee.
Nice blocking out there by the Roughers on the side and the end.
Kenyon Goodson with a play to celebrate the weekend, as he takes it 40 yards on the quarterback keeper. And the Roughers have added yet another score. That'll be a highlight moment of the season for the young Rougher quarterback.
4 carries, 60 yards. Pretty good yard per carry average.
6 foot, 170-pound sophomore. As Soto Morales will come on and hammer through this PAT. Actually, that was Morales. And that'll make the score 57-0. 30-second timeout. We're back after this 30-second break on Rougher Football 2023.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times, when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
But with the running clock after the touchdown, that may be the last play of the game.
Yeah, I don't think
we're down
Willis
to
Alexander's
37
bringing his
seconds,
team
and
over
Willis
to the
going to pull his
sideline.
kids to the sideline, and Travis Hill will do the same, and the two teams will go interchange high fives at the center of the field. And the first guy crossing the field for the Ruffers is TT, Travion Houston. Not a thing of beauty, but certainly one of victory, as the Ruffers maybe a little sluggish early on, Nick, but once they caught fire and got in at the heart of the Pirates, there was no sailing of the Pirate ship, and the Ruffers end up with the 57-0 victory tonight here at Pirate Stadium. Back with our post-game show. We'll take this 3-minute timeout. When we return, Muskogee gets the win to move to 2-0, 57-0 over Putnam City. Back in 3 minutes. This is Ruffer Football 2023.
Jay Hodge here with Rick, a man of few words. Wow! That's one of them. And when you see the savings at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee, tell them, Rick. Wow! New Silverados, 1.9% financing or $5,600 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Don't overpay. Come see Jay.
New Silverados, 1.9% financing.
Wow!
Now at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee,
144 West Shawnee.
There's really only one explanation for businesses who continue to thrive for decades on end, and that's a people-first mentality. Bravado employees live within our existing coverage area just like you. Our kids go to the same schools and play in the same leagues as yours. That's why so much of who we are consists of giving back to our communities, because your community is also our community. We are your family, your neighbors, and your leader in wireless mobility. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Brunt's Barbecue serves up hand-rubbed, slow-cooked goodness. Anytime you're feeding a few hundred, hey, we're just tailgating with friends. Call the experts, Brunt's Barbecue. Ribs, brisket, burnt ends, mouth-watering hot link, and smoked chicken, where everything is made from scratch, from the barbecue sauce to the banana pudding. Give us a try, and you won't be disappointed. Brunt's Barbecue, 918-681-3900. Brunt's Barbecue, slow-cooked goodness in Muskogee.
I'm Kyle Edwards for Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and the all-new Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota. With the addition of Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Shakota and Buick GMC in Muskogee, it now gives our customers a great lineup of new makes and models to choose from. We are very proud to bring you a buying experience you won't find anywhere else. If you haven't visited us yet, come give us a chance. You'll like what you see. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. From setback to comeback, the name you can trust, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
It's not as much as the scoreboard, Nick, but when you take a look at the final outcome of tonight's ball game, plays ran, yardage gained, doing what you had to do, even maybe not at your peak performance. The Ruffers tonight come into Pirate Stadium and will ride home happy with a 57-0 shutout of Putnam City Pirates.
Well, like you said, here about halfway through the quarter. It'll be interesting to kind of see what Travis Hill's take on this game was. In a sense, it was kind of like last week's game against Enid. It kind of spittered and sputtered around, and then once the Ruffers got in gear, they got in gear, and really it was expected this would be kind of the outcome of this game from the outset. So the outcome not in doubt, or the margin not in doubt, but the way they got there maybe not quite what Travis Hill had been looking for.
Ruffers scored on their first and third series. The first one, a 17-yard run by Jamarian Ficklin on the third possession. On a 4th down and 9, the Ruffers hook up Bird to McGee. That made it 14-0 with 1:49 to go in quarter number 2. After Putnam City turned the ball over to the Ruffers at the 20, the longest series for the Ruffers, 12 plays, going the 80 yards, a big bubble screen from Ficklin to Javon Washington to advance the chains on a 26-yard reception. And then Latavian Johnson put it in for the score, and it was 21-0. Ruffers still would add yet 2 more scores before the end of the quarter. Beasley on a 55-yard cross-country gallop, and then Jaden Swanson on a out route from Jamarian Ficklin will take it and dance his way between would-be tacklers and go 81 yards with 1:10 to go before halftime to make it 35-0 at the break. Ruffers would take the first possession of the second half, starting from their own 16-yard line, and would use an 8-play, 84-yard drive. Another big play, McGee from Ficklin, 42 yards, and the Ruffers were up 42-0. Then a safety, followed by another touchdown on the kick return, the free kick return by Caden McGee. The Ruffers then would add yet 1 more score when Kenyon Goodson scored late in the 4th for the final count of 57-0. Let's go quickly to the Ruffers statistical scoreboard before we take our only timeout here in the post-game show and then select our Buffalo Wild Wings player of the game. Dick, you got all the numbers?
Ruffers tonight rushing 29 times for 321 yards, 10 of 21 through the air for Ficklin and Goodson combined for total of 299 yards. So the Ruffers 620 yards in total offense this evening. Penalties still a problem. 10 penalties for 85 yards tonight against Muskogee, and there were a couple that were refused along the way. Ruffers ran 50 plays on the evening, and Andre Beasley, the leading rusher tonight, 5 carries for 74 yards. McGee, the leading receiver, 4 receptions for 121 yards. For the Putnam City Pirates, they had 31 rushes for 110 yards. Just 1 of 11 passing tonight for Putnam City for 37 yards. So 147 yards in offense for the Pirates. They had 9 penalties tonight for 75 yards. Scholes ends up being the leading ball carrier after coming in for Batty, who I'm guessing must have been hurt somewhere along the way in the first half, because he was doing a pretty good job. Scholes had 14 carries for 43 yards. Batty had 13 for 56 in the time that he played in the first half. And the Pirates ran 42 plays on the night.
57-0. Ruffers with the victory to improve to 2-0. We'll take a timeout, a 30-second timeout, and when we come back, we'll name our Buffalo Wild Wings Ruffer Player of the Game. That after this closing post-game show timeout. 30-second break on Ruffer TV.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael E. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Welcome back at Putnam City. 57-0 the final score, and having to go through the ballot box, Nick, on this one for a Buffalo Wild Wings player of the game. A lot of contributing factors. I mean, you think about Andre Beasley. He had some cross-country jaunts for touchdowns. Caden McGee, what a night for him. A couple of pass receptions plus a kick return for a score. And then, of course, You got to give a little bit of a tip of the credit to the defense that posted a shutout, although the Pirates were able to move the ball. But I think when we all tally up the vote total tonight for our Buffalo Wild Wings player of the game, you and I would settle on the young, talented junior quarterback, Jamarian Ficklin. 10 of 20 passing, 299 yards through the air for 3 touchdowns, plus 1 rushing touchdown of his own. So all tonight, Bird and company getting the job done, but our Buffalo Wild Wings player of the game would be Jamarian Ficklin.
Had a good game tonight and really kind of got the Ruffers on the roll after kind of a somewhat slow start. They scored in their first drive, then kind of puttered around for a couple of drives, and then really started getting going early in the second quarter and didn't stop from there.
What I really like, too, is the way that Ficklin is able to extend plays. I mean, he's in the backfield. He's under duress. He dances around. He darts one way, cuts back on a moment's notice, and then from all angles, from almost like underhanded softball style to a sidearm delivery to the overhand toss. I mean, he can throw it on a rope to the sideline, or he can throw it half the length of the field or further and find targets, as he did tonight with Caden McGee on a couple of those pass connections for 6 points. Our Buffalo Wild Wings player of the game, junior quarterback Jamarian Bird Ficklin. So now, Nick, 2 games in the win column. I think it's games that the Ruffers fully expected to win and win the way they wanted to. But now the real test of character for this football team, as it was last year in the same third contest of the year. Next Friday night, Ruffer Village, top-ranked Carl Albert Titans, the defending 5A state champions, will come with a chip on their shoulder, having lost to Muskogee a year ago at home. And the Ruffers will take on Midwest City Carl Albert in a 7 o'clock kickoff.
I think the Ruffers are going to have to clean up some things to be in good competition in that game. They've got to get rid of the penalties somewhere. They had, I think, 7 holding penalties tonight. That just won't fly against Carl Albert. It'll put them in a hole. And the big plays that the Ruffers have relied on so far in these first couple of games are not going to come easily against the Titans defense.
57-0, the Ruffers with the win. Again, another thank you to Emily Orozco, Cammie White, doing a lot of the video camera operating, Madison Grayson and Bree Gialetti on the production of tonight's broadcast. And then, of course, the expertise of Shane Stewart and Shane Sanderson making sure all the technical things work and getting us on the air despite all the video technology gremlins we had early on. But more importantly, thanks to all of you for watching, as the Muskogee Ruffers tonight go on the road for the first time in 2023 and will go back undefeated in preparing to take on Carl Albert next Friday night at Ruffer Village. But the final tonight, a dominating performance statistically, offensively, as well as defensively, and the Ruffers will go home with a 57-0 victory. For Nick Hampton, I'm Bill Huddleston. So long from Putnam City, and as always, it's a great day to be a Ruffer.